Back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time for Sportstime on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sportstime is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you, and we're live out here at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett on Stage Road. Their 1-year anniversary today, so make sure you come out here and check them out. Some really great deals they're doing today. We were at the Crazy Coop Express. Brett Norsworthy with me. We were at the Crazy Coop Express about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year. That was a ton of fun, and I kept talking on air and off air about the walls, these murals they have, and just beautiful. And, I mean, you got them here, too. I mean, they're great. I love them. So, we're out here all afternoon today. Make sure you stop by. We're giving out a whole bunch of stuff. We're giving out 2 4-pack tickets for Memphis and FAU this weekend. That's going to be a big game. I know tickets are limited right now, so make sure you get out here and sign up for that. We'll be drawing about 5:30 or so you got plenty of time to get out here, get some great food. I had some of the wings right when we got here, and great wings. Loved them. So make sure you come out here and stop by the Crazy Coop. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great, Brian. Both locations are outstanding, and the people are as warm and hardworking, and they're so proud of what they've accomplished over the last year, and just been a great sponsor with us, great teammates with us, and it's so very festive out here today. And we want you to get the wings. We want you to get something off the menu, like the bacon cheeseburger. Unbelievable wing place, but the bacon cheeseburger is as good as any in town, maybe the best in town. But also, celebrating the birthday, you have to have birthday cake, and you have to have cupcakes, and they have. And one of the nice people that works here, her mother she does a lot of baking, and she supplied the cake and the cupcakes. So it is a real birthday celebration and festive. We're here until 6. They're going to be celebrating all weekend, and with a live DJ in this location, and also a full-service bar as well.
So it's a really festive atmosphere out here, a lot of fun, and some great deals, so make sure you come out and hang out with them this week, and make sure you stop by today. Like I said, we're giving out a bunch of great prizes, so you can come by, get wings, get a burger, get whatever, and also sign up and have a chance to win tickets to the big one this weekend for the Tigers. Got the first one down against Charlotte, but now here comes the one that I think a lot of people have had circled on their calendars. FAU, they come to town on Sunday.
Yeah, in every game now, the rest of the wheel will be, an examination. It will be, and frankly, it's pass-fail.
Yeah.
We're to that point of the year, none of the bracketology is very favorable. The net's not favorable. Last night, FAU with the win, and they moved up a little in the net world, but not a lot. And the stakes are big for them on Sunday, but maybe not as big for the Tigers.
Huge game for the Tigers and a huge opportunity. I know a lot of people have been talking about, FAU last year, first round of the tournament, whatever you want to say about the end of that game. But the Tigers lose and FAU advances, and they go all the way to the Final Four. We've kind of talked about it.
That's how fragile it is.
Yeah, and we've been kind of talking about it this week of, what would have happened if the Tigers had won that game? You'd feel pretty good against Fairleigh Dickinson, and then, now you're to the Sweet 16 and a chance to play Tennessee in the Sweet 16. So I think, the few players that are still around, Jaden Hardaway, Malcolm Dandridge, those guys certainly remember that. I think, Naquan Tomlin talked about knowing that feeling because he was on that Kansas State team that got knocked out by FAU in the Elite Eight. But I do think these other guys, David Jones, Javon Quinterly, Nicholas Jourdain, I think they also have motivation just because all year it's been, Memphis has been a disappointment. At least FAU has been playing well. FAU has been in the top 25 most of the season. FAU is in the brackets, in the bracketology. They're on the right side. So I think even though there's a lot of guys that didn't experience kind of that pain that a few did and that Coach Hardaway felt, I think they're going to be very motivated Sunday afternoon.
And it launched FAU. Now, Dusty May had been doing good work there before that NCAA tournament run, but it has him set up now for a lot of these coaching vacancies that his name is prominently mentioned and rumored around. It was mostly at the Tigers' expense launching with that win in Columbus, and then the second win in Columbus over Fairleigh Dickinson, as you mentioned, and then onward and upward from there for them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think you mentioned it. I watched a lot of FAU last year in the Conference USA, and before the tournament started, and so you could see how good they were, how competitive they were. But it's a lot different playing a midweek game in the CUSA on ESPN Plus against UAB than it is playing in the Sweet 16 against Tennessee, playing in the first round in an 8-9 matchup against Memphis, playing in the Elite Eight against Kansas State.
At Madison Square Garden, Sweet 16.
Those are the moments that put programs, put coaches on the map, and so certainly has gotten a lot of hype from that. We know bringing back pretty much that entire team from last year, all of the stars, all of the key guys were brought back this season. So we know they are a very good team, a very competitive team, but I do think they've on the road have not looked as great as they do at home. So I think Tigers go out and play like they did against Charlotte and have that confidence, and I think we're going to get a really good game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's been a little something missing with FAU this year, not quite as sharp. A little bit later at this point last year, but that game, I don't think I'm not trying to make an excuse, and I don't think it had a big factor. But in an odd way, and I know I felt it personally that night, Fairleigh Dickinson has defeated Purdue.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know I'm looking at the bracket and thinking, this is cake.
Oh, I mean, the amount of text messages, phone calls I was getting from my friends and from family members saying, "Oh my gosh, Fairleigh Dickinson just beat Purdue. Memphis is going to the Sweet 16." I'm saying, "Whoa,
the Final Four."
Hold on, slow your roll." They're playing a very good FAU team tonight, and I mean, remember, Brett, that FAU team lost 3 games the entire regular season last year, and so it'd been rolling, and so I think I've already heard, and again, we're giving away tickets today, so make sure you come out. But I've heard a lot of tickets already gone for Sunday's game. They're doing a stripe out. It sounds like it's going to be a really good crowd, and I think a big part of that not only is FAU being a good team, but all the fans, while there's only a couple players on this team that were here last year when Memphis lost that game, this whole fan base remembers that game. This whole fan base wants the revenge against FAU, and so I think they're ready to pack it out at FedEx Forum and try to make a really good environment and get behind this Tiger team to try to will them to a victory.
Yeah, and we can do this another time. It's not that important right now, but we talked about it some yesterday with Greg. You can go through the worst loss ever and all that stuff.
Right.
That was a very hurtful loss because of what it prevented.
Yeah.
I had some, remember, and I started on that line that Monday, and it got just roundly slayed at the text line. No, blowing the lead to Kansas was much more important. I respectfully then and now still disagree with. It's not a lot of consolation. Number 2, I mean, got to the last night of the year, got to Jim Nance doing that game. I know it hurt. I know it still does to so many. But what that prevented last year, at least you got to 2. At least you got to, the last seconds of maybe having finally that national championship. Last year was just brutal. We talked about the Drexel NCAA tournament loss. Almost any exit from the NCAA tournament ranks up there on the cruel and unusual list.
Yeah.
But and then this year, the home loss to Rice, I think, is the worst home loss.
Absolutely. No, I don't think any question about that one. That was one that, I mean, just hard to find a way to defend that loss against Rice. I did see earlier today Penny Hardaway and a couple of players met with media before this game on Sunday, and Penny Hardaway says David Jones, Jalen Young, and Jordan Brown are all questionable for Sunday's game versus FAU. He also said, quote, but knowing Jones, he probably will play. I think so, but certainly something to keep an eye on with kind of some injuries piling up for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he's playing. I don't want him to further an injury if he's not able or capable to play. Sure, don't want him to make something bad worse. Mm-hmm. But the Tigers don't have any more leeway. They can't lose at home Sunday. And I think the whole, whether it be at large or automatic qualifying, to be AQ, they have to win the games and punch the ticket out of Fort Worth. To be at large, I think that is over with except maybe getting to Sunday and being impressive doing it. Maybe. Yeah. And we've gone over that a lot. I think everybody's pretty up to date on the scenarios. Got to win. Just win, baby.
Yeah, just win, and you've got 4 more games in front of you, and 2 of those will be quad 1 games because of the way FAU's been playing this year, and that's something that the committee looks at. But you've just got to win games. I don't think you're going to get into the tournament as an at-large at this point. I think you're going to have to go and win that tournament. And, I know Penny said it that he changed some things and they were doing some different things offensively. I think try to figure that out right now. Try to get something going offensively so that when that conference tournament comes around, you're clicking on all cylinders and you can go and take advantage of that tournament and try to come out there as back-to-back champions and getting back into the tournament.
Yeah, win Sunday, and we'll do all the scenarios for the 3 remaining regular season games, and even with a loss, we'll do the scenarios Monday.
Yeah. Hopefully we're talking about a win rather than a loss. But you're right. This FAU team looked good last night against SMU at home, and I think controlled the game. And I think one thing that I'm really worried about for Sunday is the rebounding battle. We know Vladimir Golden is a really good big man and is a really good rebounder, and they've got some guards that even though they like to run 4 guards and 1 big man, those guards that they're running out there are gonna fight. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna go grab rebounds, and Brett, we've seen this Tiger team really struggle rebounding the ball all season long, and so this is gonna be a massive game for the front court. It's gonna be a big game for Malcolm Dandridge and Tomlin, to try to. Especially Tomlin, playing the 4, trying to get that height advantage and that size advantage on maybe one of these smaller guards that they run out at the 4. Maybe you can use that to your advantage, but I do think the front court is extremely important in a game like this.
Yeah, it is, and I really thought Golden was. I thought the NCAA tournament. I thought he was going to have a big year this year. He's had a good year. Sure. But I thought he would be better. He is almost kind of paralleled FAU. It's been good. It hadn't clicked. We hope Sunday that it doesn't. How much NBA did you welcome back last night?
I watched a little bit. I didn't watch as much. I was kind of locked in on some college basketball.
I watched the team that's in Memphis tonight.
I'll be watching them for sure. But no, I caught a couple. I caught both.
But I watched the Clippers.
Watched the Clippers. I was excited for that one, Thunder and Clippers. I watched that a lot. I watched a little bit of both the TNT games. But I was, we had some really, really good college basketball games, especially that late night window that I was really locked in on.
How late?
Whenever that Arizona game ended, I stayed up for that one, and then when that was over, I said enough's enough and went to bed.
Arizona, your preseason team?
Yeah, and still have some bets out, and we'll see what happens. That was a loss that take it for whatever it is, and I think this team needs to sharpen up on some things, but I still like their chances come March.
Our friend Kevin Sweeney, his nugget, his tweet, his factoid about Washington State and their coaches, and I heard you mention it earlier today. It's phenomenal.
It's incredible, and that's the one he shared with us on Wednesday when he joined us, and I told him when he gave that note, he could have stopped right after only 3 coaches have taken Washington State to the NCAA tournament since World War II, and that would have been a great nugget. The fact that all 3 of those coaches went on to different programs and won Coach of the Year.
Big-time guys.
And big-time guys. So
one national champ.
Yeah, and so a really good group of guys, and now with what Kyle Smith is doing over there, I mean, a really, really good coach, and I think, Kevin Sweeney said it to us on Wednesday. If I'm DePaul, he's my first call. And after, I because of Pac-12 games on Pac-12 Network, I haven't seen as much of Washington State this year. But what I saw last night, I think a lot of schools should be giving him a call.
He can do better than DePaul.
I think so. But, with what's out there, I think this is a time, Brett, that if you're the head coach at a place like Washington State, getting left behind in conference realignment, you might just want to jump and see what's out there. I don't think DePaul is a favorable landing spot to anybody, but if there's a coach that would be willing to say, I'll go to DePaul and I'll turn it around, I do think it's him.
I'm on retirement watch, too, to set off a chain of events for some bigger names.
Yeah.
Izzo, Calipari,
sure.
maybe even Bill Self.
Yeah, sure. No, it's getting closer, and for a lot of these guys, and what we've seen kind of in college football, where a lot of guys stepping away or taking jobs, in the NFL because between recruiting and transfer portal and NIL and everything, this is becoming too much for some coaches, and I don't see any of those coaches that you just listed going to the NBA or something, but certainly they have built up enough cachet where they can retire and everything will be fine for them.
And do we have the re-entry of a big time guy like Jay Wright?
Yeah, no, and that's a good question. Jay Wright has kind of been, I don't know, it's been like a seesaw for him since he's retired. Some days you'll hear rumors that he's not happy in the booth. He likes being, coaching, and he wants to get back into it. And then 3 days later, you'll hear, oh no, he loves being on set. He loves working in the studio. Yada yada yada. So no, that certainly is a name to keep an eye on. And if he does return, it'd be weird seeing him somewhere different other than Villanova.
Last year, Final Four team in the U in Miami, Jim Larinaga, feels like he might be at the end. And their NIL. It's reportedly they got it in good shape.
Sure.
Certainly for football. I wouldn't think basketball would be that much different. And that weather, that prominent job.
Sure.
It can be done there. He did it.
Yeah, no, he did, and he's certainly getting up there and has years behind him, and so maybe
Final Four, two different schools.
Crazy, but maybe he feels like he's
two places that hadn't been before and hadn't been since.
Right.
George Mason in Miami.
Yeah, and so who knows? Maybe he after the end of the year says enough's enough. This was a bad year, and I don't want to have to figure out who I want to re-recruit to my team and go out and try to recruit other guys to come and supplement it. So
Miami went a long time without a basketball program.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So he's done a great job there, and I think a lot of people are going to remember this season for what it is, but certainly what he did with that team last year was extremely impressive.
Because remember at the Final Four, who was it was in the finals with San Diego State and UConn, right? Mm-hmm. So we didn't do kind of the Big Four that Monday of Miami because I said Rick Barry would have been at the top of it.
Yeah.
But they went a long stretch of no team.
Wow. Well, no, but we'll see what happens. A lot of coaches to certainly keep an eye on, and it's hard to believe we only have 4 games left in for the Tigers in the regular season. For a lot of teams, we're getting down to 4 or 5 games left. So just very, very weird.
The game number, home and road, and the total game number, and the games remaining. It's happened. We're at the end again.
Yeah, we are, and it is. It's really, really hard to believe. Well, let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30. Alan Bell from the AB3 driving the line. He'll join us to talk some wagering. A lot to get to him. Obviously, spring training has started. I want to get his thoughts on the uniforms.
I think Alan Bell's goal is to get all. Betting on college baseball shut down.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
winning
incredible.
Too much.
It's incredible. So we got to talk some college baseball with him. We got to talk MLB. I'm curious how he goes about the spring training, influence him much on future bets. A lot to get to baseball-wise, but also basketball with NBA back. We'll have to get some picks from him for the weekend, so we'll do that at 3:30. 3:45, Grizzlies, they're back in action tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers, so we'll talk Grizzlies-Clippers.
You still hate the Clippers?
That's a good question.
I asked that last time they were here.
You did, and it's a good question. I feel like, that team is so different than what it was. Everything about it is different, and soon they'll be playing in a different arena. So, I mean, I think some of that is worn off, but I think some people still hold that.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. Kind of similar thing with the
There was
Thunder.
real Clipper hate, though.
There was. But I don't
hate
think.
Me now, you just call them Clipper scum.
I like that. I like that.
There was a lot of Clipper hate with Zach Randolph and Blake Griffin.
Absolutely.
It sure was.
Absolutely. So, I think there's still a little bit of that.
Grant Hill and Chris Paul, low bridging people.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see if there is still that Clipper hate. But that game tonight, we'll talk a lot about the Grizzlies, what to expect kind of this home stretch down the rest of the way of the season.
I think that trick was born after a playoff win over the Clippers.
It was, yeah.
On a Friday night, because I was at the game and I was with my oldest nephew. And I go, "What are they saying?" I didn't know but it was fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good time, and so we'll talk a lot of Grizzlies at 3:45, 4 o'clock. Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. He'll join us, talk some more wagering with him. Certainly want to get his thoughts on some of the newest things coming out of college football. So we'll talk a lot about that with Bruce, with the expanded playoffs, 14, 16, what are they going to do? A lot of decisions to be made. 4:30, Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas will join us, talk the SEC and the Razorbacks. We'll have to talk about Arkansas basketball. They did get that season sweep over Texas A&M in basketball, but also I think a lot of people in Fayetteville will tell you it is baseball season, and the focus has moved.
And how tough of an out will Arkansas be in Nashville?
Yeah.
Or not tough. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a good question. We'll talk a lot about that with Ty Richardson at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Jason Munns, the Tiger basketball beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He'll join us, talk Tigers. As always, he's presented by Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. At 5:30, we'll get to what's trending. At 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're out here at the Crazy Coop for their 1-year anniversary out here in Bartlett on Stage Road. Get out here. They've got great deals, great food. It's a very festive atmosphere in here, but we're also giving away a bunch of prizes, so make sure you come in here, sign up. We're giving 2 4-packs of tickets for Memphis and FAU over the weekend, some other prizes as well. So make sure you come by, sign up, get some food, say hello. We'll be out here the entire show from 3 to 6.
We will be, and we want you to join us. This is Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock. Johnny Hill, our producer, alongside Bryant Dacus. I'm Brett Northworthy. Please come by and visit with us or text us or call us at 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. They're at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. And I was by there today, and you ought to see that convertible. You want something nice for springtime, for any time, you go over there at 2600 Ridgeway and look at that convertible. Give them a call at 901-334-9673, the one and only Lexus dealership in town, with great offers on all those 2024 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, how could it be anything other than the Tigers and FAU this weekend? A game that I think most people have had circled on the calendar since the schedule
since dropped. Columbus.
Since forever. After what happened last year in the NCAA tournament, I think everybody wants that revenge over FAU, and we'll get our chance on Sunday at home. This will be the first of 2 against FAU, and really the conference, after the success that Memphis has had in the conference, the success that FAU had last year in the NCAA tournament, they really replaced Houston with FAU on the schedule.
This is not coincidental.
No, not at all. I mean, it's the same setup. You always remember those Houston games were late February, and then you'd have that one, and then the last game of the season would always be Memphis-Houston, either here or there. And so I like it. I like the way they set it up, because I do think coming into the season, these were the 2 best teams in the conference. I still think these are the 2 most talented teams in the conference, and it will make for a heck of a game on Sunday.
I do too. I know the standings don't say there, but I agree with you.
No, absolutely. And so, but for the Tigers, they're going to have to bring their A game. We've seen FAU play consistently well, really all season long, and they're going to have to bring. The Tigers are going to have to bring their best effort on Sunday if they want to beat this. Rebounding will be a concern, I think, and they're going to have to go out there and really prioritize rebounding. What do we see out of Javon Quinterly? We saw a couple days ago, really not his best effort. But then against Charlotte, we saw a really good game from him. So which Javon Quinterly shows up? Which Tiger team shows up? Will it be the team that went out and beat Charlotte by 20 and really made it look easy all game long, or will it be the Tiger team we saw in those two games?
Will show up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will see on Sunday, but it should be a heck of a game either way.
It sure should be. I'm looking forward to Sunday. But tonight, my top story, the Grizzlies begin play after the All-Star game. And this is hopefully the last push of any stretch of a season for a long, long time of largely meaningless basketball. It's kind of been that way all year. It's certainly been that way since Ja Morant's return and subsequent injury. We know come October it will return back to normal on opening night of 24-25, that there will be a lot more hope for that season. And then into the future next year. We don't want to go another stretch that we're getting ready to have to go through. 26 games remain, 14 at FedEx Forum, 12 on the road, and then it will end with game 82 at home. Tonight that will be home game 41 on Sunday, April 14th at home against Denver. No April playoffs this year, no May playoffs, and still no June playoffs. Next year, at least April and May play should be expected. 1 and 2 this year against the Clippers, and lost last time the Clippers were in town. And we'll see the big four Hall of Famers on the court tonight.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it's got to be the Grizzlies back in action tonight at FedEx Forum against the Clippers. I know a lot of people would call this season a lost season, but I don't want to call it that because of what we've seen out of G.G. Jackson, what you've been able to find out of Vince Williams Jr. Honestly, if everybody was healthy, you would not get either of those guys on a standard contract this year. Now, maybe you say that that'd be better if the Grizzlies are going to the playoffs, whatever, but I do think that this is going to pay off in the long run. Were you really going to make a big of a run when your bench coming off the bench was David Roddy and Jake LaRavia and, those sort of guys? I just don't think so. I think Vince Williams and G.G. Jackson have shown that they are kind of a tier above those guys. They give you a lot more than what those guys gave you, and so I know G.G. Jackson, very young, you probably would have figured out what you had in him either way, but for Vince Williams Jr. to be this kind of forgotten player that they get super late in the second round, they put him on a two-way, and everyone's talking about LaRavia, everybody's talking about David Roddy, everybody's talking about the other guys from that draft, but nobody was really talking about Vince Williams. Now he has to step up, come in, he plays his part and be counted on, and he did a great job of getting on a standard contract. I think will be a fixture for this team for the next handful of years. Same with G.G. Jackson. So, while it is a rough season, I don't want to call it a lost season because I do think what you have found in these two guys, I think will help you next year when you're trying to make that playoff push.
Brian, I hope next May, around Memorial Day, we can look back and laugh about this year and count our blessings of what we found out of this nightmare. My not top story, it was your top story. We did those switcheroo today. It's the next to last home game of the year for the Tigers and the biggest crowd of the year. Scan count on Wednesday night was not kind, 48-88 against Charlotte. I think there will be a legit 12,000 there on Sunday. Box score may say 16,000. Heck, you can say 92,000 for all I care. But it'll be fun on Sunday against FAU. And the dwindling hopes of an at-large bid, it's still in play, but it's must-win time. Again, Penny says everything is fixed. We'll see.
We'll see. Sunday's certainly a big one. We'll talk a lot about it at about 5 o'clock when Jason Munge joins us. That'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. When we come back, we're talking wagering with Alan Bell.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
It's time to get thunderstruck during Gossett Mitsubishi's spring sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Ready to get 43 MPG Highway? Check out the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett, $18,610 or $249 a month. Need extra room? 7-passenger seating in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE, $33,605 or $399.99 a month. And Gossett Mitsubishi's got sophisticated styling and comfort in 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $31,200 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RH005931 MSRP 19110, Outlander RZO 19512 MSRP 34605, Eclipse RZO 10625 MSRP 317, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
How many times have we said that Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect bar, is not a sports bar? Granted, much of the year, sports are one of the main attractions at any bar. But at Bell Tavern, a great time can be had without having to keep checking the score. It's a slow time of year for sports, but it's never a slow time of year to go to a great bar with the perfect atmosphere, coldest beer, and the nicest people you're likely to meet. Chances are, even if you're a huge sports fan, when you leave after a visit to Bell Tavern, you'll be surprised to realize you never thought about them once. You were having too good a time at Bell Tavern.
Most shoppers today fall into one of two categories. You could be like Dave, who settles for nothing but the finest.
I drive only European luxury sedans, wear the finest Italian leather shoes. My shirts are custom made, and I expect white glove service from those I do business with. I appreciate world-class brands, and at this point in my life, I just don't want to compromise on quality, no matter what I buy.
Or you might be like Steve, whose goal is to always get the best deal.
I'm frugal. I'm all about finding value. I want the best price, and I don't mind going out of my way to get it. I work hard for my money. I just want to make sure when I buy something, I can have confidence in knowing I'm not overpaying for it. Stop being cheap. It's being smart.
You never see these two guys in the same store, except for one.
That's why I shop at Genesis Diamonds.
Genesis Diamonds is that rare shopping experience where you can have it all. Uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Exceptional service and the guaranteed best price in America. A premium experience and a smart purchase. This is where the best of all worlds come together. Genesis Diamonds, Memphis's direct diamond importer at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE 722-812 MSRP 21590. Sorrento PG 242710 MSRP 33010. Telluride RG 462-822 MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, you ready to get this party started at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
You bet I am, Randy. Gossett's got your new Kia that gets 41 MPG Highway. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Need extra room? How about a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing, and a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease.
Plus, get peace of mind because with every Gossett Kia, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's been pretty eventful today already with a couple of accidents in the Midtown area. Just give yourself plenty of extra time. It's Friday. You know the drill. Give yourself extra time. It's looking a little bit better, but they're still finishing up the paperwork on a wreck we had earlier, 40 westbound at Chambers Chapel. That did have traffic a little bit slow coming in from Fayette County on 40 westbound. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. They're online, tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We're out here in Bartlett at the Crazy Coop. They're celebrating their 1-year anniversary, so make sure you come out today, come out this weekend. They're going to be celebrating all weekend long, but make sure you stop by today. 3 to 6 we'll be out here. We're giving away tickets to Tigers and FAU this weekend. We got 2 packs of 4 for this weekend, so make sure you come by.
Do we have any Grizzlies yet? We do have
Grizzlies. Perfect. So we will have Tigers and Grizzlies tickets to give away. So make sure you come out here and sign up. Like I said, we'll be out here till 6 o'clock. But Alan Bell joins us now to talk some wagering from the AB3 and driving the line.
We were going to give him the big intro last Friday. I know he was exhausted, but Alan, we did the final arithmetic on the whole season for college and pro with us, and you ended the year at 607.
Maybe we don't have Alan.
Maybe we don't. No. Alan, you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. You finished the year at
607, right?
607 percentage, yeah.
Yeah, boys, we'll take that all day long.
Every day.
Take a ride on that airliner on flight 607.
There we go. I love it. How we doing?
Good work. Good work. Right. Oh, man, we are ready to roll. And Alan, I don't want to say I have a bone to pick with you, but, Alan, I love gambling on college baseball, and I feel like they're going to take the odds off with how much you're killing the books doing college baseball.
Man, I tell you what, man, it's fun. We had a good start, man. We ended up going, I think, 9-2 in parlays in week 1. Yeah, man, great start, But here's the thing, is that, you guys know it better than anybody. College baseball is a fickle sport, man. It is up and down all over the place, especially when you start throwing in these, midweek games as well, man. Wow. Well, I love it. It's my favorite sport in the world, man. I absolutely love college baseball.
But it is the hardest because just the very nature of baseball, one guy can be up and can hit one right on the nose at the center fielder that doesn't have to move an inch and a half, and then the next guy up can hit a Texas leaguer that empties the bases.
I know, you're exactly right, man. I'll tell you what, I wish I'd have gone on that trip with Ole Miss out there to Hawaii. That would have been nice.
Man.
I wanted to get some of that.
You would have gotten a lot of baseball.
You would have. Yeah. Would have been fun.
Yeah, it was. It was. That first game, it went, 13, 14 innings?
13 innings.
It's still going. A friend and colleague of ours here was on that call, and every time I rolled over in bed, the game was still going on.
It was a long one. So, Alan, when you're looking at these college baseball games, because like you said, especially early in the season, you're seeing a lot of pitchers that might be transfers. I've seen especially at some of these higher programs, they're starting guys from JUCO. They're starting guys that pitched at that Division II last year. What are you really looking at, especially early in the season in these college baseball games?
Yeah, teams that can hit the ball. All right, that's what you want to find, man, because pitching. Even if you've got, 4 starters, who are just lights out, early in the year, they're not going to go long, right? Like, these managers are not going to burn their arms up. And like you just said, these coaches, they're not set on their lineup just yet. They want to see some guys, right? So what we saw in the first weekend, was Friday night, you'd see your number one and your starters coming in. Saturday, they changed things up, man. Throw the lineup around, put in a young kid, freshman, redshirt freshman to throw, whatever. So that's the big thing, man, is be careful with that. As we go along in the season, pitching dominates, right? Especially on the weekend. Your Friday and your Saturday guy, are generally good to go. But it's risky right now. So I like teams, if they're hitting the ball, and as cliche as that sounds, that's where you want to stick with, man, because, runs will save you, even if, you've got some young guys up there on the mound.
Are you riding over and unders more than sides, or a little bit of both?
Man, good question, right? So the books, what we've seen so far is they're not putting totals out until maybe an hour before the game. And what that tells me is that they don't know as much as we all don't know, right? And you look at college baseball, on average, once we get to the middle of the season, averages are 10.5, 11.5, 12.5. We're seeing 14.5, 15.5. The other night, Tennessee played East Tennessee State. The over-under was 15.5. Tennessee won 16-0.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough. The totals are very, very difficult right now. So much more money line parlays, two-leggers, than anything. That's about the safest way to go. Which parlays aren't bad, but right now, yeah, man, that's about the safest thing you can find.
Yeah, and you're really out there on the edge on some of those betting those overs because, like say a game is 12.5 over and under, it's 11-0. You're mercy ruled.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%, yeah. We saw a lot of that. That's a great point right there. We saw a lot of that. Florida was part of that, and numerous other teams as well. So you're exactly right. It is much more safe to play money line, even though, when you look at it in the books, I mean, you have some favorites that are minus 1,000, right? So you really got to dig deep, unless you want to do hits while we play two-leg money line parlays right now.
Right. Well, and Brett, I haven't even told you this. I was telling one of the hosts earlier in the day about it, but I got to read the rules better. I got burned earlier this week. Alabama hosting Alabama State. Run line 6.5. I took Alabama minus 6.5. They end up winning 12-0, but they called it in like the 6th or 7th inning run rule, and the book I was using voided it because it did not go a complete 9 innings or 8.5 innings.
Come on, Vegas, if you're scared, say you're scared.
They voided it, and I had no idea.
It's brutal. No, you're right, man. That's another part of it too, man. I think it's 8.5 is what it what it has to go. So it's usually you need to eat the 9th inning, and man, like they call it that early. You get everything right. Like you did your job, and you just that's a bad beat. Right?
That's not right, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Ruined my Wednesday, I tell you.
Next time you lose, refuse to pay.
I don't know if Vegas works that way.
Tell your boys.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Alan, kind of sticking with baseball, we've got spring training starting up. We had one game yesterday. We've got a handful of games today. They really get rolling tomorrow. How much do you pay attention to spring training to kind of educate yourself in terms of trying to make futures before the opening day or even some of those early season games? Do you pay much attention to these spring training games?
A little bit, right? Like now, I'm watching this because I love baseball, right? And even if it's on in the house, you know what I mean? Like I just love the sound of a catcher miss, the ball getting whatever, right? But yeah, man, like for the most part, really what I pay attention to are kind of everything outside, or not outside of the game, but injuries, right? Like what are we looking at? Who's getting usage, right? Basically, how are these lineups going to look on opening day and moving forward compared to, how they're kind of designed. You know what I mean? Like, are there going to be teams that are going to have guys, and I'm not talking about big injuries, man, but, just, a little quad pull or something, things like that. Like, that's what you pay attention to. So it's kind of negative as that sounds. It's really just making sure that, the teams that you want to bet on are good to go. But other than that, man, not a whole lot you can take from it. Unless somebody just literally can't hit the ball. Like, that but generally spring training, man, guys, they put the pedal.
And Alan, these teams are really crafty. They know how to manipulate that 10-day DL so well.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about how NFL GMs, are super, super intelligent in terms of using the IR and using different things like that, and they are. However, in baseball, you're exactly right. Like, when you get that 10-day right there, man, smart line right there. Like, they know exactly how to use that thing because they have to manage a short roster. Buddy, they do a good job of it.
I would like to know what the NFL salary cap was the first year the Titans were in Nashville playing at Vanderbilt. The news today, $255 million per team. And they got to spend every dime of it.
Yeah. It goes to show you how much the TV value is, right? Like, it keeps going up. Yeah, man, like, it's fascinating that, we see this number, go up, and it's interesting to look at how teams go about using it, right? Like, for the most part, it's pretty standard. But, we just saw San Francisco, kind of go the route of, all right, we found a diamond in the rough at quarterback. All right, we don't pay him much, and we can just build a complete monstrous defense around it, right?
That's the model.
Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, like you can't hate on it. Like it worked, right? So it always comes back to the quarterback and then everything else, right? Because they make the points. So I mean that's a huge number, and you know what? We're only going to see this thing go up.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking to Alan Bell from the AB3 and Driving the Line. Alan, obviously college basketball, we're getting closer and closer to these conference tournaments, and the big one, the NCAA tournament. But I'm curious, I saw this the other day, and I jumped all over it last night when they were hosting Ohio State. But Minnesota this season is now 23-3 against the spread. And everyone talks about, when you're betting college sports, at the end of the day, these are still 18 to 24-year-olds, and, they're not going to win every game they're supposed to win. They're going to struggle at times. Have you ever seen a streak like that in college basketball where a team is this far into the season and they're 23-3 against the spread?
It's rare. And look, these books aren't stupid either, right? Like, they get ahead of these trends. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're talking about a D3 school hidden below Chattanooga, right? Like sitting out there in Daisy or something, right? Like, I mean, it's just so, you know what I mean? So, like, they get ahead of it, and still, and what I mean by getting ahead of it is they're going to make you pay a little bit. Like, they're going to add a point to it because they know the public's picking up on it. And then they're still covering, and they're still doing it, right? Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's fascinating. I mean, that's a huge, huge number. You know what I mean? And especially as we get closer to, conference tournament, the big tournament, whatever, like those spreads get smaller, and I'm fascinated to see what the books do with it. But yeah, man, like I haven't seen anything that comes to my mind that big of it because college basketball is tough. Yeah, I mean, the difference between 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 is huge difference there. Yeah.
Little known fact, Alan, I've got my entire retirement in Saudi Daisy and betting them as underdog in games.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you can always count them. Stay in the Saudi Daisy, boys. Now, here's a question for you. Major League Baseball. We were looking at this today. So let's maybe think of it. Win totals are out. The Dodgers are at 103.5 wins this year.
Over.
You think so? You go with it? Yeah.
Yes. When we look up and they've won 110, it'll be, they'll be at 103 on Labor Day.
Probably. With Ohtani? Yeah, man. And then the Atlanta Braves, 101.5.
Holy cow.
That's one you better really examine there because that might be last day of the year. Do you have the Cardinals in front of you?
The Cardinals was 86.5, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a tough line.
No, it's not. Under.
Yeah, it's tough. See,
I'm
with you, man. Like, the Cardinals let me down last year, and I think that we all kind of knew that it wasn't going to be the same St. Louis Cardinals, but it was a tough season. But, yeah, like, it's a big number, but it's still the Cardinals. It's tough to fade them, but I'm with you on that,
And last year, we thought it might be some decline, around 500. 71-win team.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. I know.
It's really rough.
I know. It's tough. That's what was. It's weird seeing the Cardinals be a team that's selling. Like, I've never seen that. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily buying either every year. They're just usually a really solid club that handles their business with contracts. And to see them just kind of moving pieces, you're like, oh, man, this is not the normal thing. And the one team that was in Philly, 89.5. What do you think about that?
And if the Cardinals are mostly irrelevant by June 1, I think they have to seriously, and they will, consider moving away from Goldschmidt and Arenado.
Probably so. And many of his other two just absolute studs. But you're right. Like, you've got to do something, to turn that thing around.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. Well, Alan, as always, thank you so much for joining us, and
have a great
good
weekend.
luck this weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, look forward to it, boys. Y'all be good, man. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Alan Bell, with us every week from the AB3 and Driving the Line. And he's trying to drive them out of college baseball. He doesn't break them.
Man, he might.
1 hour out on the over and unders, though. That's giving you very little time to ponder it.
It's very steep. I mean, they, as much as people were getting after it last year, and I will say, Brett, I told you I bet on Alabama. That was the first time I've seen an Alabama line available since the whole gambling snafu last year. So they're back. How about that?
This weekend, a lot of places to enjoy and go to, and we got two great ones with the commissary. The new Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar are the original in Germantown, and perfect for a big group to after church to watch the Tiger game on Sunday afternoon. That Memphis-style barbecue and ribs done the slow-cooked Memphis way. And if you're craving an easier way to order, text commissary to 33733. Start that feast with the appetizers like the smoked chicken wings, the tamales, the cheese plate, or the barbecue nachos, and then dig into the ribs or the shoulder, chopped or pulled on a plate on a sandwich with all the sides, beans, slaw, deviled eggs, bread, and you can order it by the pound or a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a 12-pack and save room for dessert. Quite a challenge for the best lemon ice box pie I've ever had or the terrific banana pudding. Here's the number, 901-754-5540, or go online at commissarybbq.com in Collierville and Germantown. The great party areas, the orders to go, catering, tailgating, and always time for the commissary. Walker Taylor and his team, they've done it the right way. 901-754-5540 or online at commissarybbq.com.
Well, we're out here at the Crazy Coop, 7199 Stage Road in Bartlett for their 1-year anniversary. Good time out here, and we're also giving away Tiger tickets. We've got 2 4-packs for the game Sunday against FAU. We've also got Grizzlies tickets to give away, so make sure you stop by, get you some food, sign up for these great prizes. We'll be drawing them around 5:30, so still some time to get out here and sign up. But we need to get to a break. When we come back, we'll preview the Grizzlies game tonight against the Grizzlies. That's next on Sports Time.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard 3rd row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe. It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go, so Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. 2 final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
Get your tickets and get loud for your Memphis Grizzlies when they face off against the Los Angeles Clippers at FedEx Forum tonight at 7 p.m. for Gospel Night. Enjoy a post-game concert with Jonathan Traylor and get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett, we're out here at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett, 7199 Stage Road. Make sure you stop by their 1-year anniversary here at the Crazy Coop. Very festive, some great deals. We'll be out here from 3 to 6. The deals all weekend long out here, but make sure you stop by. We're giving away tickets, Tigers and FAU. We've got 2 pairs of tickets to give away for that. We've also got Grizzlies tickets to give away, so make sure you stop by, say hello, and sign up. Speaking of the Grizzlies, they're back in action tonight after a long break from All-Star Weekend. They're back tonight against the LA Clippers that came up short last night. A great game from the Thunder. SGA went off. And so LA coming in tonight, their second game back, still looking for their first win.
They are, and the Clippers, one of the teams really out of the West many were thinking can win it all.
Yeah, and what they've done lately, everyone remembers that kind of start of the season where they were really struggling, couldn't get anything going with all of those stars, and it looks like they've turned a corner. They're playing much better, and I think right now third in the Western Conference, right behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, playing really, really well, and it's going to be a tough task for this Grizzlies group tonight. But one thing this Grizzlies team does, night in and night out, they're going to compete all night long.
The Clippers have been in go-for-it mode for a lot of years now.
Yeah.
One Western Conference Finals appearance. That's farthest they've ever gone, and that was in the 2021 season. Doc Rivers couldn't get it done there. Vinny Del Negro couldn't get it done there. It's getting close to time for Tyronn Lue to get it done, or they get somebody else.
Yeah, no, it feels like it. And, maybe this is the year. It feels like they're playing really well. And I think when you look at those top teams in the Western Conference, Minnesota, very good team, but what do they do when it comes to playoff time? I think Oklahoma City, still very young. I don't know if I trust them in the playoffs. And then you've got the Clippers. Obviously, the Thunder still hanging around, and they're going to be a big factor come playoff time, right? So, it's going to be
Nuggets.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how this Western Conference shakes up, and we're down the home stretch. But it should be a fun night tonight at FedEx Forum. Obviously, Vince Williams, after his Rising Stars appearance, will be fun to see him out there again. Gigi Jackson, this whole group, it will be a lot of fun. But we did get an update last night on the injury front. Grizzlies PR tweeted out, still going to be some time for both Desmond and Marcus Smart. It sounds like maybe you'll get one of them back. Yeah, to the surprise of nobody. I know DeMichael Cole said he tweeted and said Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart are still not close to returns, looking like a solid chance that at least one of them won't be back this season. And in that PR post from the Grizzlies, it says Bane is expected to return to play within the next 3 to 5 weeks. And then for Marcus Smart, it says he will wear a splint for another 3 weeks, at which time he will be reevaluated. So I'd say probably a better chance you see Desmond Bane rather than Marcus Smart, since you kind of have that idea window of when he should be able to be back to play. But, there's a good chance we might not see either of them back.
We discussed this early in the week, and I said I could argue both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every pro-play-em argument I can counter with.
Sure.
All right, first of all, here's a pro. The fans deserve to see them.
Sure.
Well, these fans also don't deserve another year like this, and why even risk it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, we said it yesterday. I think I could argue with a wall both sides. I think I can, easily be.
Don't we know what
both
Desmond
sides.
Bain can do?
We know what Desmond Bain's going to do. I think we know what Marcus Smart can do.
Even Brandon Clark. I know this morning Dave had Andy Shipman, his agent, on and talking about some run time for him.
Yeah.
But we know what he can do.
Yeah, no, we know what all of these guys can do, so I don't know if you really want to risk it with, nothing to play for, so little time left in the season. But we'll see what they do here in the next couple of weeks. Well, we are late for a break, so let's go ahead and grab one, wrap up this hour, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more wagering with Bruce Marshall.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the Ping G430 Max 10K driver. Straighter flies farther with Ping's most forgiving driver ever made, the Max 10K. Come in today and test drive Ping's newest driver at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Visit us at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Hot wings. What's your favorite flavor? The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 32 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. And now the Crazy Coop at 7199 Highway 64 in Bartlett is counting its first year with an anniversary party. Beginning Friday, February 23rd, and all that weekend, enjoy a Crazy Coop special. Includes 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink with any one of their 32 mouth-watering flavors for just $8.99. From classic favorites to exciting new creations, there's something for everyone at the Crazy Coop. At the Crazy Coop anniversary party, they'll have Sports 56 broadcasting live on Friday, February 23rd from 3 to 6, plus DJ spinning music, food samples, and also prize giveaways all weekend. The Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Family owned and operated. The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at Empower.com. Sponsored by Empower Personal Wealth.
It's leap year, so jump into big savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike. New 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. How about 7-passenger seating? Get 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease, and don't forget, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242710, MSRP 33010. Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Traffic's on the increase even more just in the last few minutes out here through the Midtown area. Not too bad right now as far as accidents over here on 240. Now, it got slow earlier, 240 going westbound as you come past Airways up to Mill Branch, and from time to time it still wants to run a little bit slow in the construction zone. Over here on 55 northbound between Macklemore and South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We're live out here at the Crazy Coop for their 1-year anniversary out here in Bartlett on Stage Road. Make sure you stop by out here. They've got great deals, great food, got some drinks. We're also giving away prizes all afternoon. Tiger tickets, Grizzlies tickets. Make sure you stop by, sign up. We'll be drawing those a little bit later in the show. But Bruce Marshall joins us now. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. And I'm curious, we've seen a lot of news this week out of the world of college football, and kind of the biggest one is the conference or the college football playoff expansion. You know, we're going to be 12 next year, but after that, a lot of unknown. We've heard maybe 16. We're now hearing 14 was discussed this week. Where do you stand on expanding the playoffs more than 12?
Yeah, no, I think it will. Follow the money because there's going to be more money to be made. Now, for the next 2 years, they'll have it at 12, and then it's open after that. I've kind of laughed. And some people have said, well, it's only for 2 years, this playoff. That doesn't mean it's going to go further. No. It's going to keep going. I heard the same thing. Remember, Brett, you remember when Notre Dame first went to a bowl in that game against Cotton Bowl against Texas? And, it's just a one-time thing for Notre Dame. They're not going to do it anymore. Well, we knew better. They kept doing it. But I actually think the bigger news is two things. One, and this ruling today about the nil and sort of like opening the way more for that being used as a recruiting tool, and so that's a win for the players and sort of a loss for the NC2A, and the stinging rebuke from the judge about the NC2A, not above the law and all that. But earlier in the week, speaking of the NC2A, Charlie Baker, the president, came out with, I thought, a very pro-favorable ruling. And it sounded like this was something drafted for him by lawyers. But it was like, we're not going to, we're not, interested in putting more restrictions on transfers. And I think that is strictly because he knows in court, the players are going to be winning a lot if they challenge this stuff, and he doesn't want the NC2A to get sued anymore. So, and the players are more likely to do that if there's any restrictions on their movement. So I think in total, these other things were also very interesting this week in how college sport is trying to adjust to the new landscape here, which continues to move under its feet.
Who had a bigger influence on their sport, Jose Canseco with his book or Ed O'Bannon with his lawsuit?
I want to say O'Bannon probably, because I think
financially it sure did.
Yeah, because I think that one really that sort of tipped the scales, and that just sort of opened the floodgates here. And we haven't, and there's still more of that to come. So I'd probably say O'Bannon, but we knew that was coming. I think that could have happened at any point. 15, 20 years before that, had somebody stepped forward to do it, because the NC2A has really always been on shaky financial state, shaky legal underpinnings with all of this stuff, and so it was just a matter of time before somebody challenged it. But it's a lesson that could have, the powers that be in college sports could have probably mitigated this somewhat if they just got more proactive sooner and started to come up with something, to compensate the players long ago. This is what it ends up, though, because they didn't do it.
Bruce, in a perfect world, if you had to do it how you wanted it, when we go to whether it's 14 or 16, do you want to incorporate more bowls or do you want more on-campus action?
More on campus, I think. And I think what would happen, I think they'd probably go to 14 next, only because they'd still want to somehow give, a couple of teams a break. And I think the Big Ten and SEC will campaign for that, because that would mean that their champion team would get a bye. Unless it hurts, champion teams would get a bye. Unless it financially, and maybe that makes more sense to play the extra games. So I think that first round, there may be more. There could be more games in the first round if they go to 16 at campus sites, and then maybe get the bowls involved with that after that. But I wrote about this stuff over 30 years ago in the Gold Sheet. This is, you could incorporate a lot of these bowls into the playoff, and it always made sense to me. It just took a long time for this to actually happen.
Bruce, you might be shorting yourself a few years. I think it might even be longer ago than that. But the first person I ever heard mention a playoff, and I don't think it was for selfish interest, because he was even referencing some before it. I didn't even know it could be an idea. But Lou Holtz first proposed it in a meaningful way after his Arkansas team upset Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl in the bowl games that were played after the conclusion of the 77 season. I think that game actually was January 2nd, 1978, when Arkansas won. And he was wanting 4 teams then, because he knew that team he had around a playoff structure would have been a really tough out.
Well, yeah, I can go back even further than that. I remember Holtz talking about that. But the 1965 Sports Illustrated College Football Preview issue laid out a whole case for a tournament, and they projected who the teams would be. This is in '65, but I've checked.
Who did the story? Did Dan Jenkins do it?
It might have been Dan Jenkins or Roy Cave, but it was in the preview issue, which, by the way, had Frank Solich on the cover taking a handoff when he was at fullback at Nebraska against Arkansas in the previous Cotton Bowl. But
Monty Kiffin was on that Nebraska team.
Yeah, that's right. And go back and if you can find that in the Sports Illustrated archives, it's there. But I found stuff back into the 50s, them talking about the playoff, and that sort of spawned. I'm working on this new project here, book project, where I'm going to hypothetically put together what a playoff would have looked like for about the 40 years up to when they finally did it in '98. And it's going to be sort of, it's going to be totally unofficial, of course, but I mean, it's just sort of my interpretation of what it could have been like. And you just think about it for a minute, what we've missed out on all those decades and all those matchups we could have seen in college football, but we just couldn't do it because of the bowls and the Rose Bowl and all that. It was an opportunity and I'm just glad we have lived to see them sort of rectify all that.
Me too, Bruce. In that end of '77 season, those games played, I think that would have been, if we had had another game in kind of a playoff format, that would have been USC against Arkansas, because they upset Ohio State earlier that day at the Rose Bowl.
Actually, Washington beat Michigan that year. That was Warren Moon beating Michigan that day and that night when Oklahoma got beat by Holtz. The Bear beat Woody Hayes pretty bad in the Sugar Bowl.
That's it. Bama beat Ohio State in New Orleans. It might have been Bama and Arkansas.
Well, and then, but Notre Dame and Texas was actually, another big one that day. Texas actually came in number 1. So Notre Dame won, and then with Oklahoma losing at night to Arkansas, that opened the door for Notre Dame to get claim number 1.
Who's the most robbed team of not having a playoff, do you think?
Most wild?
Most robbed. If they'd had any kind of structure like we have now, they would have gotten hot and won it.
From any time in the past? Gosh, there could have. Well, I will tell you, and I've got two of my years I've sort of put together. I'm going way back here, but in 1967, I actually have Oregon State winning my tournament, and they didn't even get to the Rose Bowl that year, though they beat USC because they lost a couple of games early that season. And
Bruce,
by
they
the
would
end
have
of the
not
year-
beat Kenny Stabler that year. You're wrong.
Well, I don't know. They beat Purdue, UCLA, and tied UCLA, and beat USC with OJ every year. I mean, Tennessee could have won it that year too. Tennessee beat Alabama that year, but no, I had Oregon State winning that year. I had Houston winning in 1969 because at the end of that season they were an absolute wrecking machine, and you can ask any Auburn fan who remembers what happened in the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl about that.
Wow. Bruce, I'm curious. I've heard some people throw out the idea of the NCAA expanding to 14, expanding to 16, maybe even expanding to more than that, in seeing conferences like the Big Ten and the SEC demanding more than just one automatic bid for their conference championship, maybe 2 or even 3. Do you see them trying to figure out a way to do that, being how big of conferences they'll be and how much money they'll be generating?
Oh yeah, that could happen. One more note, Brett. Remember that Bama team '67 lost to 6-4 A&M in the Cotton Bowl. Gene Stallings. So,
Sure did to Gene Stallings.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure the Big Ten and the SEC want to have more spots if they can, and they'll try to do everything they can. I think, this is through the rest of the decade here. We'll see how close the Big Ten and SEC get to really running the show here, and there will be some pushback from some of the other conferences that it all gets negotiated collectively, and that maybe these, for the good of the sport, maybe, everything should be negotiated collectively and not just conference by conference. I mean, it's sort of like, in the NFL, if the NFC West decided to make its own TV deal and then the AFC South made its own TV deal, maybe just put the whole thing together. I don't know if the Big Ten and the SEC will ever agree to that, because they're sort of like the Dodgers and the Yankees with the TV money and MLB. They just don't want to share it. But there's going to be a push for that, and I just bet that these are some more dominoes that will fall between now and the end of the decade.
If we don't incorporate more on campus, don't you think the LA Bowl with Stan Kroenke will be in the mix, and where you live, One Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas be kind of in the pool of bowls?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there'd be no shortage of those. And, definitely. I mean, similar sort of what we see now. These cities that have the domes are going to be in better shape to do that. And then we'll see. I mean, and is it just going to be the final game is going to be bid upon for a neutral, for a site, or are you going to go to the semifinals also? Maybe those are outside of the traditional bowls too. I don't know. The one thing I find very interesting here is how the Rose Bowl so impeded everything for so many years, because the Big Ten was unable to move. And give Jim Delaney, he had some critics, but he turned that battleship around in the river and got the Big Ten thinking about, maybe we should have a playoff here. And that was really the trigger, because I think the SEC and the Big 12 and the ACC were always good for that. But once the Big Ten got on board, that was it. But, where the Rose Bowl now is, I think now we're to the point where the Rose Bowl doesn't have near the clout anymore, and I'm not even sure how much longer they're going to keep this window on New Year's for it, because the old alliance is gone. But I am not sad, but there's a lot of Pac-12 old-timers who are saddened by that. I'm not, because I always thought the Rose Bowl impeded the bigger picture of college football a lot more than it helped it.
Mm-hmm. Talking to Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. I'm curious, we've got spring training up and rolling, and we had one game yesterday, a handful of games today, really get rolling tomorrow afternoon. When do you start kind of looking at baseball and start trying to get your research done for maybe future bets or some of those earlier games in the season?
Yeah, I'll wait a little bit. I usually go down to spring training, which is in Phoenix, is really neat because they're all around the valley there, and you try to find a few days when there's some night games there too. Weather's usually not too bad there then. I mean, they rip you off on the hotel prices, though. They really do. So be careful with that. Or Florida, a few years ago, I went down there, so I'm thinking about that as well. But normally about the middle of the month, I try to see spring training. That kind of gets me in the mood to do it, and you can see if you do it right, you can see a few games per day for a few days. So, sometime mid-March I'll start getting more into that.
Bruce, at this time at the goal sheet, you would always start doing what your NCAA tournament bracket would look like. Are you doing that at bamsports.net?
Yeah, I'm sort of doing some stuff, and I'll probably send some stuff over to CBS too. I'm just sort of keeping my own thing here, but it's very fluid here, and I know I'm wondering at the furthest reaches of the bubble. I mean, we always seem to talk about that stuff, but I mean, who can move in here and who can't? How this net rating does it? I still think the net is really designed for the major conferences. There, it's not. You're not really penalized for losing games in these big leagues unless you lose to Vanderbilt, like Texas A&M did last week. But when does South Florida start getting mentioned by some of these guys as maybe moving on to the bubble? All they're doing is leading the American, and they aren't getting a lot of mention right now. All I'm hearing is Florida Atlantic from the American, but it's pretty fluid. I think we've seen this week. Look, we had UConn go down, you had Purdue go down, and last week you saw Arizona go down. All those pretty significant upsets, and so it is a very wide open race.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. I'm curious. I saw this nugget, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but Minnesota right now is 23-3 against the spread. They picked up a win last night at home against Ohio State. And everyone talks about college basketball, college sports in general being so hard to pick, and that at the end of the day, these are 18 to 24-year-olds. They're going to mess up. They're going to have bad games. They're going to lose games they're not supposed to win.
That's a heater, though.
Oh, man, but 23-3. Can you remember a run like that in college athletics? 23-3 is just incredible.
That's better than the Baltimore Ravens in preseason.
Yeah, I mean, they are. This is weird because I sort of got off the. I kind of have. It depends if you count that Missouri game as a loss early in the year. Some people are counting it as a push for Minnesota, but I got off of them. This shows you. This is I'm in retrospect. Maybe I shouldn't. They back-to-back games. They got whipped by Indiana and Iowa in mid-January, and I sort of lost the scent then. But darn it, they haven't picked it up. The thing is, they have been covering point spreads in games they've been losing, and barely squeezing in there. The Iowa game, they lost by 5. They're getting like 7, so they did that. They lost Wisconsin by 2 in a game they were getting 3. They lost Michigan State by 10 in a game they're getting 12.5. So they are barely hanging in there. They beat Maryland by 3 in a game they were laying 1.5. I mean, you can go down the list here. Wow. It has been really close, and it's just like you're flipping a coin, 26 times, and it's coming up 22, 23 times heads. So listen. It's Ohio State. They just beat them. They got to go to Nebraska this weekend. Nebraska's pretty tough. If they can do it at Nebraska, a lot of people are going to be betting on Minnesota now. Now people are seeing this.
Yeah. Who's your team to beat? Who do you think the tournament goes through?
Tennessee. Because of Dalton Connect. I think, and I've watched them this year. They are my favorite team to watch because of him. And I know Tennessee's had that roadblock at the Sweet 16 with Rick Barnes, but I think, and back further even, but by me, that's my favorite team I've seen this year. I just think all the pieces are there because of him, and he has really flourished having some better athletes around him. He's a first-round pick now. They're talking about now the mid-first-round pick, and this is a guy of Northern Colorado. I mean, a Big Sky transfer coming in. So actually, for me, that's sort of my team to beat, and it would be rare for Tennessee to make a run deep in March because they're always, like you said, out at the start of the second weekend. But I think this team could go further.
Never been to a Final Four, I think, to an 8 twice, maybe 3 times ever. But, long awaited for Tennessee back to, great Ray Mears teams and other great coaches. I don't know if I can trust Rick Barnes to do that. Who's the coach you trust this time of year?
Oh, gosh. I would say Dan Hurley, but I won't because he's just, because he won it recently. And Matt Painter is also, flubbed up enough times down the road. So the guys I used to like a lot, the Bo Ryans and the Jay Wrights and them are not coaching anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So there's fewer of those guys that I'm really like. I mean, Mark Few, I'm not sure they're going to make it in there this year. I mean, he's been good, but he's never won it. So I think some of my favorite coaches, Shaka, got the Final Four once, but I mean, he's never done it. And I don't want to say Bill Self because I don't want to, but Eric, there's some people that want to see Kelvin win it too. But I don't know if there's any of these coaches this year that you can say for sure is the one, to take it, because a lot of them have been sort of unproven in March.
Yeah, it's been tough. Bruce, before we let you go, is there anything you like tonight or tomorrow in college basketball or the NBA?
Yeah, tonight. How about this one? If you can, I can have to find it somewhere online there. North Florida. This is the Battle of Jacksonville. These are both Jacksonville teams. Atlantic Sun, North Florida, and Jacksonville. They're playing in Jacksonville's small gym tonight. Watch North Florida. They take more and make more threes than any team in the country. And their guard, Chaz Lanier, is just on absolute fire. And he is the second most accurate three-point shooter in the country, over 45%.
Wow.
It's a very short price. And North Florida, this isn't really, they're just going across town. I'll take North Florida against Jacksonville. The Ospreys tonight, I'll take them. And tomorrow, SEC game, the Alabama-Kentucky game tomorrow. I would point this out. The Kentucky game it got kind of fast-paced the other night in the second half against LSU, but it also landed way, way under the spread, under the total in that game. And I'm thinking Alabama, I'm seeing mid to high 170s in this game. That's too high. Even as much as Alabama scores, Coach Cal has slowed this thing down. The Ole Miss game and the Auburn game and the LSU game all went way, way under after Kentucky was playing a lot of overs, too. I think that mid to high 170s is too high for Alabama, Kentucky tomorrow.
I like it. Bruce, where can we find more of you?
Thanks, Brian. Check me out at VegasInsider.com. All my picks are there. We got some hockey tonight. We got some NBA and a few college games, including that North Florida. There's one for tonight, and I have a whole bunch for tomorrow. So all my picks, VegasInsider.com. You can also read my stuff at CBS Sportsline, Sportsline.com, once in a while up there on CBS Sports HQ.
Bruce, as always, thanks so much. We'll do it again next Friday.
Okay, boys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce Marshall, with us from Las Vegas every Friday. And we can all head down Highway 78 to All-Star Chevrolet, first exit into Mississippi. That's Kraft Goodman Road, and you're at All-Star. And if you're ready to have one of those beautiful vehicles, you can get it like that new Silverado right there at All-Star with financing down to 2.9 for 72 months or up to $5,000 cash back. Plus, you make no payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it. You get it at All-Star. And it's still the month of love, and you'll love all the vehicles like the Silverados, Equinox, Trailblazers, Tahoes. You're going to love seeing this All-Star lot and showroom loaded up again the way it should be. You want a pre-owned vehicle? They have them. Everything you want's right there. Ram trucks, Jeeps, Nissan Rogue, a Traverse with third-row seating so we can all do more together. Where are you going for Easter or spring break, and what are you driving? You should be driving something from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. College students, teachers, military, healthcare workers, you all get an extra $500 bonus, and that's with all the other deals you get. Everyone at All-Star, they're ready to see you, and they have everything you're looking for. And if by chance they don't, just ask Kevin or Jeff, and they'll get it to you with all their contacts. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah, it's not Bartlett, not South Haven, not Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Come on down to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
We're live out here at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett on Stage Road. It's getting closer to dinner time. Make sure you come out here and get some food. They've got some drinks, and stop by, say hello. Some great deals for their one-year anniversary. And also, stop by. We're going to be here till 6 o'clock. We're giving away tickets, Memphis versus FAU this weekend, and also Grizzlies tickets. So make sure you stop by, sign up. We'll be drawing winners for that around 5:30 or so. So still plenty of time to get out here at the Crazy Coop. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we're talking some SEC. We're talking some Razorbacks with Ty Richardson.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Seven Mayors Mexican Restaurant, Bar, and Grill in Memphis would like to say thank you to all the local men and women serving in our armed forces who have risked their lives daily to preserve our freedom and way of life. God bless America. That's Seven Mayors Mexican Restaurant, Bar, and Grill at 3681 Jackson Avenue in Memphis, where they invite you in for great food, friendly service, and a relaxing atmosphere. Stop by or give them a call at 901-386-1199.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
It's leap year, so jump into big savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike. New 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. How about 7-passenger seating? Get 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease, and don't forget, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorrento PG 242710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
The best athletes don't just play the game, they change it. When it comes to investing, Gainbridge is doing the same. Their online platform does things differently because it's designed to put you in charge of growing your own savings. It's intuitive, it's easy, and best of all, it's on your terms. No wonder Gainbridge has earned the trust of 40% repeat customers. It's a better way to invest because it's investing your way. Get started today at Gainbridge.io.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings & Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings & Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings & Grill.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's already heavy in a couple of spots out here, like 240 westbound between Airwaves and Mill Branch. 55's been a little bit sluggish northbound today, trying to get up through that construction between McLemore and South Parkway. It's already building on 40 East as you continue out into Fayette County. Lots of radar out there. THP scattered around Interstate 40 just past 269. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Time time to talk Razorbacks on Sports Time. Joining the guys is Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas to talk all things Hogs and SEC. On Twitter X at Ty Sports Radio, here's Ty Richardson with Bryant and Brett.
Come on, all you Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those Hogs!
We're about to talk to Ty Richardson and talk some SEC and some Razorbacks with him. But let me remind you, we're at the Crazy Coop. We're here till 6 o'clock. It's starting to get busy in here. People starting to get out here and get some dinner. So make sure you stop by on your way home. We're giving away, we're going to draw a little bit later. We've got 2 4-packs of tickets for Memphis and FAU on Sunday. We've also got Grizzlies tickets. So make sure you stop by and register while you're out here.
The DJ's ready. When we go quiet at 6, he's going real loud.
It's gonna get fun in here. And let me remind you, they're doing a special all weekend long. Again, it's their 1-year anniversary here. Beginning today, going all weekend long. Get a 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink with any one of their 32 mouth-watering flavors for just $8.99. Such a great deal. So make sure you get out here this weekend. The Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Witten. Family-owned and operated. The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination. Again, we'll be out here till 6 o'clock. Well, Ty, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to with you, basketball, baseball, but I'm curious. We've seen Arkansas, we've seen them struggle this year, but we've also seen them go out and sweep a series against Texas A&M in basketball. We're getting closer and closer and beat Duke. We're getting closer and closer to Nashville for the conference tournament. How tough of an out will this Arkansas team be this year?
Well, they got an easier schedule. And by the way, save me some of those 4 cheese roasted garlic wings. I'm looking at them right now. And
we're loaded up.
You guys are, I was going to say, you guys are probably full already. But to your question,
I am.
Yeah, I bet, man. That's one of those things about doing a radio show at a restaurant. You just you eat it every single break. But
that's
to your
right.
question, Brian, they got Missouri tomorrow, and then they got Vanderbilt, 2 teams that are above in the SEC. And then they go to Rupp Arena, which is probably not going to result in a win. And then they'll welcome back LSU, who tattooed them earlier in Baton Rouge this year, a game I was at. Then they'll go to Coleman to close out the season. So I think they can go 3-2 in that stretch. I don't think. I hope they can get to that Thursday night where they don't have to play on Wednesday night, but they're probably still going to have to do it. They'll probably win the first night, and then I'm going to be honest, I don't see them making much of a run this SEC tournament, guys.
But what if they did win on Wednesday and they'll be favored that night? Just squeak out Thursday. Anyway, maybe they tap into what could have been and scare the daylights out of somebody on Friday. You don't think?
Man, Seth, you've been going to those things or watching them a long time, and when you start playing on Wednesday, your legs go by Friday or Saturday, and it's just one of those situations, especially if you're playing a team with a double bye. And I guess there's an advantage of playing in Bridgestone Arena, getting the feel, but I still would give the favor to the team that's much higher and it's better productive season in Arkansas. But we saw, I don't know if you were, I think it was in Atlanta in 2000 when Nolan Richardson's squad.
I was there.
They're only SEC tournament championship in the postseason. So maybe Musselman can conjure up something 24 years later and add another tournament championship to Arkansas's trophy case.
And our friend Blake Edens, that weekend, that whole weekend in Atlanta, he would have been making shots if you had him blindfolded.
Oh, man. Blake's about as entertaining as an Arkansas former player as it gets. He's really intelligent. I think he's working for, you know better than I would, Brett. I think he's working for Stevens in Little Rock, but I have heard nothing. I've met him one time, but I have heard nothing but good things about him. Steph.
And his family, his father was the last captain for Coach Joe Jordan at Auburn. He had 2 brothers play at Auburn football and one on the national championship team with Cam. And that Sunday final in 2000 was against Auburn, and he had his day. And it was so much fun to watch it unfold. But there's never been at a Wednesday winner, and Arkansas did do it in 2000. There have been a couple others do it 4 days, but I guess if we do it long enough, somebody will come out of Wednesday and finally shock the world one of these days.
It'd be nice if it was this year, because there's a good chance that team in Razorback Red's going to be playing on Wednesday night. I mean, it really is a good setup. The best, let's be honest, the best basketball city in the state of Tennessee is Memphis, Tennessee. We all know that, but it is a great setup that they have outside of Bridgestone Arena, the fanfare, walking outside of Broadway and everything. But I've enjoyed it. I went to Tampa. I didn't go to St. Louis the year they have it, but they really do. I wouldn't say it's necessarily what the Big 12 puts on in Kansas City, guys, but it's about as close as it gets to a marquee conference basketball tournament.
It was fun in New Orleans at the Dome for a few years, but it was too big. And you know, in the early years when Arkansas first joined, between the Arkansas and Kentucky fans battling each other, you know, it was really good crowds at those places. But it's going to be in Nashville now, as far as the eye can see.
And Stats, we were at media days together, and one of the questions that was posed to Greg Sankey and other members kind of within the SEC office was, with bringing in Texas and Oklahoma to the league, is there an appetite to put teams in Dallas and Austin? I know we're going there for media days this next year, but from a conference championship standpoint, like they're automatically kind of putting their foothold in Big 12 country coming up this July. But they locked it in with Atlanta. I think they locked it in recently with Nashville for an extended period as well. I know Hoover seems like it's going to be there for baseball till the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
I would just think that, like, having Dallas as, I think, the third largest market, only behind Los Angeles and New York, would be a marquee spot to put a championship game, but it doesn't look like they have an appetite to do it right now.
I'm with you, and I was even favorable for, you know, whether it was or wasn't, they were going to do it. But I was okay with, let's try it in St. Louis, because if you're going to invite them in, and this was explained to me by an SEC official, if you're going to bring them in, welcome them in and give them, you know, some of the things. And I can remember Southwest Conference tournaments in Dallas. I can remember them in San Antonio and Houston as well. If you're going to go to that part of the world, go there and put your events there.
Yeah, and the SEC has an opportunity, again, not only to capture the entire Southeast, but get into some markets that they've got into a good chunk with College Station and Texas A&M and Aggie fans that are littered throughout that state. But, really deep ties with Texas and Oklahoma now being joined at the hip with the Southeastern Conference. So that's a conversation that they have probably had multiple times, but nothing substantial has seemed to come out of it from putting championship games, at least in this early stage of Texas and Oklahoma joining the league as of this year.
Ty, I know old-timers can make the fish story get really bigger and bigger through the years and lose a little accuracy over the years. But I tell Bryant, any story he hears about the Mid-South Coliseum and any story he hears about anything at Freedom Hall in Louisville, believe him. For you, whatever you hear about what happened at Reunion Arena, multiply it times 5. It was that good there.
You know, Stats, I and Brian and me are about the same age, and there's a lot of regrets I have for being the age I am and not being 20, 30 years older. But missing Arkansas's heyday in basketball and missing really Memphis's, outside of Cal's early years, like heyday, like seeing those two go at it, and you miss some of the iconic basketball Hall of Fame coaches and players at that point. And I can watch replays. I can read about it. I can listen to you, Clay Henry, Chuck, voice of the Razorbacks, and others talk about it. But to not experience that time in the 90s or Michael Jordan in his heyday or Larry Bird Magic in the 80s, it's not the same from a basketball standpoint, just hearing it second or third hand, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Razorbacks at Reunion Arena in 1994 to beat the Fab Five less one. Yeah. Chris Webber had already gone to the pros. They beat Michigan on that Sunday to punch the ticket to Charlotte to the Final Four that Arkansas eventually won. And, you know, the President of the United States there that day.
Yeah, and I want to say, and I get this mixed up, they beat Lute Olson in Arizona in the Final Four, right, that year.
On Saturday, and then beat Duke on Monday. But in Dallas the weekend before, they beat Tubby Smith in Tulsa on Friday night, and then got Michigan with Jalen Rose and Jimmy King and Ray Jackson and Juwan Howard on Sunday afternoon. And I can tell you, the security to get in and of course, when President Clinton came in, the Arkansas band played Hail to the Chief.
Oh, that's awesome. So I remember the only time I've ever been in a building with a president or vice president was in Des Moines, Iowa last year when I didn't know this. Vice President Kamala Harris came, and I was removed, not forcefully from the elevator, but and I didn't know who it was at the time. They're like, "Get out." And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
And we're serious.
Yeah, and then I thought there was a joke at first, and then I kind of was ushered out, and then I was like, okay, this makes sense. So yeah, I can't imagine what it would have been like to be in reunion in '94, and then to Charlotte as well. I'm actually I'm flying into Charlotte at some point this summer for a little golf trip, Dad. So I'm excited to just be in that city, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that'll be a lot of fun. Ty, before we let you go, I do got to ask you, baseball, 3-1 weekend against James Madison, a 4-game series last weekend. Now a big weekend for the Razorbacks. They're in one of these invitationals down at Globe Life Field tonight. A big one at 7 o'clock against the number 7 ranked Oregon State. Beavers, what do you expect to see tonight? Did you have any takeaways from that first series against James Madison?
Well, it's there's 2 Aidens Arkansas has to deal with this weekend. You got Aiden Shaw for Missouri, and then it's Aiden May, I think the kid from Oregon State. Hagen Smith did not have a good outing last weekend. Arkansas's All-American, and it was cold, but he just wasn't himself. And you could tell he was frustrated. There was a fly ball that should have been a fly ball that ended up getting hit out of the park. So he needs to show out tonight. He's going to be a major leaguer someday. Might as well do it in the defending World Series champs park tonight. Yeah. And then the rest of the weekend, beat Oklahoma State, beat Michigan, or just you get 2 or 3 guys would be a successful weekend as we get closer to conference play coming up.
Absolutely. Well, it should be fun. I'm excited to watch that game tonight against Oregon State for sure. But Ty, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll do it again next Friday.
Guys, get one of those party packs from Crazy Coop. Maybe get me some sauce, and I can't wait to talk to y'all next week.
Man,
we're going to owe you a live read. That was good, Ty. You know what you're doing.
Thanks, Ty.
Thank you, man.
Enjoy. See you, fellas.
You got it.
Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas. He joins us every single Friday to talk to SEC and the Razorbacks, and a big one for them on the diamond tonight, a top 10 clash. Well, we need to get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go, so Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. 2 final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000, with an option for higher amounts. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and suffered cancers of the bladder, liver, or kidneys, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's, or kidney issues, you may qualify for compensation and could be paid within 60 days after accepting your settlement, with your VA benefits fully protected. You may be entitled to a significant financial award for your Camp Lejeune claim, but you must act now. Call the James Harris Law Camp Lejeune helpline now to get the compensation you deserve. We're already fighting for thousands harmed by the water at Camp Lejeune. Call now or you may forever lose your right to be awarded a settlement between $100,000 and $550,000. For your free evaluation, call 800-270-3388. That's 800-270-3388. 800-270-3388.
They say you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Who is they?
The people that say things.
Like what?
Well, that you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's Central Barbecue.
Well, I'm telling you, these people said that you can't even say Central Barbecue is the best barbecue in Memphis.
But it is. There's no better slow-smoked, perfectly cooked barbecue in Memphis or anywhere else.
Look, I'm just saying that they say...
What else did they say?
Well, that the earth is flat.
You have got to get off of social media.
That's what they say as well.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, Brett. Well, my big number today comes from that game last night that I lost sleep over. I mean, I stayed up way too late trying to watch that Arizona and Washington State game.
Cougar pride.
I mean, honestly, one of the two, I guess. But my big number today, I could really go a lot of different ways, but we'll go 1986. That's a year, okay? This is from ESPN Stats and Info. Washington State's win over Arizona meant yesterday, so February 22nd, 2024, was the first day the Cougars finished as the outright leader of the Pac-12 more than one game into the season since December 21st, 1986. Washington State hasn't won a regular season title since 1940-41 season. So it's been a long, long time since Washington State has found success in the Pac-12.
I think they went to the Final Four that year.
Maybe.
That was like winning a game in the tournament to get
different time. But no, right now, after that win over Arizona, they're in first place with a 12-4 record in conference play, right in front of Arizona now, who's sitting at 11-4. So just unbelievable game last night, unbelievable win for Washington State. I'm telling you, their head coach, Kyle Smith, he's going to be on a lot of lists this offseason.
He should be. Yeah. He will be for sure. You know, every year at the Final Four, they always pay tribute like to the benchmarks of 10 years ago and 20 years ago and 25 years ago. Our friend Ty Richardson we just had on, he's got a really strong take on Arkansas in baseball, kind of the 64 for football, 94 for basketball, 2024 for college baseball, for the Razorbacks in baseball. Right. 10 years ago, they will be honoring at the Final Four the champion from 2014.
Yeah.
It's UConn.
Yeah.
They will be honoring 20 years ago the champion from college basketball. That's UConn.
Wow.
They will be honoring 25 years ago from college basketball. That's UConn as well.
Wow. Holy cow. And speaking of UConn, watching the Nets play last night and seeing Kevin Ollie on the sideline was a little weird, but I guess that's what the Brooklyn Nets are now.
I think we look up in a few years and see Jerry Stackhouse as the NBA head coach.
I think we do too. I mean, he is I think a really good coach. I think in terms schematically and what he does, but I mean, that job at Vanderbilt, I mean, it's just hard to get guys in. And
tougher than ever.
It's tougher than, and Brett, I mean, you see, he even said it earlier this season. I mean, look around the SEC basketball right now. I mean, there are a handful of Vanderbilt guys that transferred out because they're in that position where if they bring good players in or they develop good players, Auburn or Alabama or South Carolina.
Vandy's not selling it sold.
No. I mean, they're looking and saying, hey, we can go get this kid, and they call, Miles Studi, who is now, has a huge role at South Carolina, and they're calling Miles Studi and saying, hey, you want to come play at South Carolina and be a top 25 team and really compete in the SEC? Here's way more cash than Vanderbilt's going to offer you. And so, I mean, I think...
And school's a lot easier.
And school's a lot easier. So, no, I think you're absolutely right. It's just a tough job for Jerry Stackhouse right now, but has certainly done a nice job in terms of X's and O's, and I think bringing in talented freshmen, but they're just very young this year.
We've talked about it a bunch this week, and it really hit me. I wasn't distraught, but I was very nostalgic last weekend on the news of the loss of Lefty Driesell.
Yeah.
Because he was so fun and so colorful. And Ty Richardson just talking about it always feels like yesteryear is more colorful.
Mm-hmm.
But in college basketball, we talked about it yesterday, I mentioned the names. Right now, we've got a lot of the same kind of guy as head coach out there. There's not anybody in Wimp Sanderson's Patch Madness jackets anymore.
Right. No, I mean, it's...
Maybe that's a good thing.
It might be. I mean, I don't know. But you're right. We kind of have this box of coaches that we're in, and you don't see kind of a variety that we used to see where, guys were getting very animated.
Like it's a lot of fun for them.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And
the money's never been bigger.
No, but, I think in talk about, it being almost probably less fun now with everything you have to do as a coach. But you're right. We don't see what we used to see.
And from day one, how radically different the job duties, description, expectations for Coach Hardaway here. Yeah. We've talked about that, but it's true. Yeah. It's not an excuse. It's the truth.
No, it's the truth, and we ran out of time with Ty, and I'm going to make sure to ask him this next year because it's something that we've been dealing with for the last couple of years here is when you bring those transfers in, you get to the point of the season in Arkansas, I'm sure they've already gotten to that point of what guys have eligibility left that can come back, what guys that have transferred in are going to stay, who do you not want, who is tired of being here and wants to transfer out.
And the shelf life, boy, the expiration date for fans' love affair, like affair with the players, it ends quickly now.
One, and that's kind of, we talk so much about the, we barely get to know the players anymore. Back when you're there for 4 years and you knew
I barely got to know you and I don't like you.
Exactly, and so now when you got a guy coming in, you don't know him already. They come in, they're a junior, they're supposed to come in and score 15 points a game. When they go out there in the first 3 games of the year, they're averaging 4. It's very easy to dislike a guy like that.
And now a player we hope is very instrumental in maybe a turnaround of the Tiger season. I mean, I really don't. I don't mean this as a shot at the young man, and certainly not at his dad, a fine man in Rodney Newsom. I mean, 2 weeks ago, most of us didn't know Joe Cooper was on the team.
No. And certainly has gotten a lot of talk this week. And, difficult situation. I mean, being a walk-on and these past 2 games has been asked.
And you're already seeing it on Twitter. What's his NIL?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a weird spot to be in for
I bet
him.
not much.
No, I can almost assure you not much. But, we'll see. Do we see him again? We'll have to ask Jason Munns about him because I know a lot of fans have taken a liking to him over these last couple of games. Well, before we get get to a break, let me remind you, we're out here at the Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. They are celebrating their 1-year anniversary this weekend. And starting today, we're out here till 6 o'clock, and we're giving away great prizes. We got tickets to Tigers and FAU. We've got Grizzlies tickets. We got a whole bunch to give away. But starting today, they've got the Crazy Coop special. It includes 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink with any one of their 32 mouth-watering flavors for just $8.99. $8.99, an unbelievable deal. So make sure you get out here to the Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Family-owned and operated, the Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination. Well, let's get to a break, and when we come back, we're talking Tiger basketball with Jason Munz.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorrento PG 242710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, you ready to get this party started at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
You bet I am, Randy. Gossett's got your new Kia that gets 41 MPG highway. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Need extra room? How about a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus, get peace of mind because with every Gossett Kia, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Get your tickets and get loud for your Memphis Grizzlies when they face off against the Los Angeles Clippers at FedEx Forum tonight at 7 p.m. for Gospel Night. Enjoy a post-game concert with Jonathan Traylor and get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Thank you very much, John. Here we start hour 3 at the Crazy Coop, and we want you to come by and visit with us. We're here until 6 o'clock, and they're going to be having the birthday celebration all weekend long, and we're going to visit with the great people at 5:30 from the Crazy Coop, and we've had a blast. We did at the other location over at Ridgeway, and we sure have today. We're going to talk Tiger basketball now with Jason Munns from the Commercial Appeal on the Tiger basketball beat, and he's been with us all season long at 5 on Friday, and he's presented to you by Jim's Place Grill. Over 100 years of grilled steaks, over 100 years of celebrations, family time, lasting fun memories. The Terrace family with their touch for our community. Recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E in grill. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's and see and taste and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Since 1921, a Memphis landmark, values hard work and a dedication to their diners. The Terrace family, they've created that memorable dining experience. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle mauve, the crab cakes, shrimp cocktail, and the salad dressings, all homemade. And at dinner time, the calamari, the soups, the seafood, and the steaks that they're famous for, fillets, ribeyes, and strips. Fantastic bar area, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. Jason Munns last week in Texas, those 2 games rock bottom for the year. Sign of hope, though, on Wednesday night at FedEx Forum, and the big one on Sunday afternoon against FAU. The first of 2 big ones against FAU. Good afternoon to you.
Same to you, Brett. Yeah, it was kind of a rotten road trip through the Lone Star State last week.
It was brutal.
Oh, I mean, like it was. I was there. I was in Tulsa when Memphis lost 80-40 4 years ago. This felt worse. It was this was only a 27-point loss, and they scored 79 points or 79 points. But this felt worse. Strange. They just gave up, and and it was a game that they had to have, and it was after a game that they had to have. And so, like, it felt like rock bottom. But then they came back and
they got off the mat. And Jason, Wednesday night, I sure did. I didn't give them any chance of getting off the mat. They got on the mat, they flourished, and Joe Cooper shall lead us.
Oh man, like that was really a lot of fun to watch. But no, they had to respond. If there was going to be any salvaging this season and any hope of picking up some momentum going into the conference tournament, it needed to start on Wednesday against Charlotte. And you know, it just like pregame, it felt lifeless on the court during pregame warmups. And then when the game started, there was probably only about 3,000 or 4,000 people there. And so it just kind of felt weird. And then Jaquan Walton comes on the floor, and before even 1 second ticks off the clock, he picks him and Patterson for Charlotte, their leading scorer, both get a double tech. And then on the very next play, like once the ball's inbounded, they give it right to Walton, and he baits Patterson into picking up his 3rd foul of the game in like the first 4 minutes of the game. So it was like, maybe that's the thing that's going to sort of turn this whole thing around. I mean, but it could also be Joe Cooper, as you mentioned. You know, here's a 24-year-old guy who only made his Division I debut last week at SMU, and now all of a sudden he's only played 20 minutes of Division I basketball now. But it is so abundantly clear that what he brings is something that nobody else brings to this team.
He cares.
He cares. He plays hard. He plays defense. Like, he doesn't care about scoring. I mean, you say he cares, but he cares more about winning than he does about scoring. And so he's willing to do whatever it takes to get that done. And I think that most everyone would agree that that's been missing on this team.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, going back to that Charlotte game earlier this week, I know Penny Hardaway talked after the game about switching some things up offensively, saying, that they had not been playing well on the offensive end of the court. I was really impressed by the defense they played against Charlotte. I mean, early in the game, Charlotte was scoring the ball well. I think, shooting over 50% in that first half. And then the second half, they come out and they cannot get anything to fall, and a lot of that had to do with the Tigers' defense. What did you make of the defense they showed against Charlotte? And then what did you see different offensively from the Tigers against Charlotte?
Well, so you're talking about the defense. Charlotte scored 7. First of all, Charlotte only scored 52 points in the whole game. That is the fewest amount of points Memphis has allowed this season.
Wow.
In the second half in particular, they scored 17 points in 20 minutes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they shot 32% from the field in the second half, including 8.3% from three. And so really that's what it boils down to, is they
made 1 3. Yeah.
They completely ran Charlotte off the three-point line in the second half. Again, a lot of this has to do with the fact that Patterson only played 15 minutes in the entire game.
Right.
Because he had to sit for so long in the first half with 3 fouls. But it seemed to me that they were very intentional about guarding the three-point line. And then offensively, a couple of things. Penny spoke about it after the game. First of all, was being much more intentional about effort, energy, and physicality in the rebounding battle, and it showed up. They out-rebounded Charlotte 38-20 and 14-4 on the offensive end. So, that's a huge thing. Second chance points. It didn't necessarily turn into this great advantage in second chance points. Memphis had 10, Charlotte had 6, but you extend possessions, you get guys into foul trouble, you tire guys out, that sort of thing. So, and then Penny talked about it after the game, that he sort of scripted the game almost beginning to end, and really made sure that they stuck to the game plan, the whole night. And of course, it doesn't hurt when you have good Javon. It doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. Jason, Dave Woloshin had a really interesting premise with us on Tuesday on the criticism, and Coach Hardaway was quoted as saying he feels like he has been targeted. Dave's premise is it's more of a national criticism, because I just have not seen anything certainly undue locally. It's been hot and heavy, as it always is about Tiger basketball, whether the coach is Finch or Kirk or Calipari or Price or Pashner or anybody else, and it's all out of love mostly. It's not it's not out of any enmity, but yes, it can get loud and it can get crazy. Do you buy that it's mostly national? And would you have any idea of who might really be rubbing Penny the wrong way with their criticism?
Yeah, I think from a media standpoint, it has been mostly from a national perspective. Now, it has gotten pretty loud here over the last couple of weeks from the fan base locally. And I think, as I mentioned before, there was only about 4,000 people in the building on Wednesday. That's a pretty clear indication that there are some fans that are upset, rightfully so. You just don't see teams get into the top 10 in the AP, and then 6 weeks later they're not even in the NCAA tournament consideration. That's pretty rare, and so I buy that from a media standpoint, it's mostly national. There are some locally some media members locally who are being fair, being tough, but being fair. And so, if Penny was talking about the media locally targeting him, targeting sort of insinuates that it's unfair or unwarranted.
Out of bounds?
Yeah, and I don't think that's the case necessarily locally. Now, from a fan standpoint, there probably is a little bit of over-the-topness when it comes to some of the things that are being said on social media in different places from the fan base. But
that's more the times than anything else, isn't it?
True, very true. But again, to say that you feel like you're being targeted, then that means that there are ulterior motives when it seems pretty clear to me, at least, that the criticisms that are coming his way are while they might be they might not be they might sort of be unbalanced. They're not necessarily completely unfair.
Yeah, we've talked about, if you could go back in time and go to something in sports. I know Greg Ashton had that this morning as a topic. What would you like to go to? Andre Turner was a legendary 4-year Tiger stalwart. I mean, at point guard, at the toughest position, one of the toughest positions to play in all of sports. And early in that tenure, got the nickname very derisively around town is Andre Turnover. So when I see Javon Quitterly on Twitter, I want to go, hey, Javon, you're having to go through it for 6 weeks. A legendary Tiger, legendary good man like Andre Turner has had to live with it for 40 years.
How about Alex Lomax having to go through it for 5
Great
for
point.
his entire
Great
career
point.
here? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like the majority of things that have been said, there's a reason why they're being said. May they be over the top? Sure. Probably.
But it wasn't out of the thin blue sky.
No. There's a very good reason why some of the things that are being said are being said.
Absolutely. We're talking with Jason Munz, the Tiger basketball beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. As always, he's presented by Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. If you could take something negative away from that Charlotte game, it would have to be the injury to David Jones. He left late in that game, did not return. Coach Hardaway after the game said that he thinks he might have got his eyeball scratched, which does not sound fun. But we also didn't see Jaden Hardaway, Jalen Young, or Jordan Brown play in that game against Charlotte. What have you heard about those 4 guys and their availability for Sunday's game against FAU?
I think David Jones, Jaden Hardaway, and Jordan Brown will play. I think, based on my understanding, David's eyeball situation, it was a scratched cornea, and it's extremely
That's very
painful.
serious.
Yeah.
It's extremely painful, but this particular injury was largely superficial, and my understanding is that the eye is probably the fastest healing organ in the human body, and so for that reason, I fully expect David Jones to play. Even Penny said it this afternoon when he met with the media. He said, He said, I'm going to label him questionable, but if I know David, he's going to play.
It would be a fun moment in the locker room pregame, especially with, I think, his endorsement and his support of his beloved university and his good friend Penny Hardaway and Treadwell High alum Elliot Perry out there on Twitter, very much defending his school and his coach. It would be fun pregame if Elliot would break out some of the old goggles and bring to David Jones if he needs them Sunday.
I know, that would be funny, and he should do it not only for David Jones but for Naquan Tomlin too. Don't forget he got himself a scratch on the eye back in New Orleans against Tulane. But no, that would be funny. But I do think that David Jordan, and Jaden are going to play. Unless something changes between now and Sunday, I think those three guys are going to play. Jalen Young, I'm not so sure he's going to be ready to go. Now, not saying that he won't be. I just think that as we sit here today, he's the least likely of the four to be available.
David Jones plays Sunday if he has both eyes covered.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. It's like I was told that he was begging to go back in the game, even though he even admitted it was everything was blurry, and yet he was still begging to go back in the game. So they did just fine without him, though.
Yeah, absolutely. For Sunday's game against FAU, we obviously the fans have seen this team last year, but not a ton of the players remember it. You know, a couple guys from last year I know. Also, Tomlin with Kansas State, he saw this team last year in the Elite Eight. What is the biggest key for the Tigers to come out with a win on Sunday?
Well, I think you have to. You know, they've got John L. They have so many weapons. They've got John L. Davis. Mm-hmm. They've got the big guy, the 7'1" guy, Golden, who is just so good down low. And so, I mean, they're a very, very, very good offensive team. I just don't think you can go into that game thinking you're going to slow them down offensively. So I think the key is going to be trying to score as many points as you can, like trying to outscore them. I think that's probably, you might get in trouble that way. But again, they're just a juggernaut offensively. Now, I will say they are second in the league in points per game to Tulane. Tulane is still number one in scoring offense, and FAU is right behind them. But I crunched the numbers, and they score 10 points per game fewer on the road than they do at home.
Oh, wow.
And so that seems like a pretty wide gap to me. They are also only 4-4 on the road. They are now 17-2 at home. Or no, I'm sorry, not at home. Either neutral site or at home. They're 17-2, but in true road games they're 4-4. So I think you sort of lean into that home court advantage and try to get as many people involved offensively as you possibly can.
Jason, Coach Hardaway has talked about it a couple of times this year, but especially as we've gotten closer to Sunday's meeting with FAU. He said they talked a lot of stuff to his team and about his team. Was it anybody in particular for FAU? And did you know it that night? Because most of that night afterwards, I was just kind of dumbstruck by the loss because what it prevented in moving on to the bracket. But that one, for a lot of reasons, really smarts with Coach Hardaway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I sat down with Penny in the Dominican Republic way back in the summer, and we talked about the FAU game, and he said he didn't think he'd ever be able to get over it. And that was the first time I had heard he talked a little bit about this trash talking that went on. I'll read you the quote. I have it in front of me. He says they were talking so much trash. Everybody was just talking smack from their athletic director to their president. He said not to my face, but enough where people could hear it and people were bringing it back to me. And then he stuck in at the end. He said, but the players themselves, the FAU players, were talking trash directly to me. He didn't name any names in that interview, and he in subsequent references to how much trash they were talking. He didn't mention it. He hasn't mentioned it since then, but he did say their athletic director and their university president must have been saying something, because it
must have been for it to stand out with Penny Hardaway, who's played. He's been playing some basketball since he was 9 years old, and tough guy, been through a lot. For it to stand out, for him to mention it to you in the DR in August, he's really ready for Sunday.
Yeah, there was another quote that he had. He goes, "You know me, my pride is big. They talked from warm-ups all the way to the beginning of the game and the end of the game." So,
wow.
Yeah, I never heard anything like that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't going on. But I mean, they were a confident program last year, and it paid off. They got all the way to the Final Four. But yes, that's not something that you generally want to do to somebody who is as proud as Penny Hardaway is.
Now, here's the rub for the Tigers, though, on Sunday, and Coach Hardaway and the staff need to guard this. We got the game Sunday, but you got to go to Boca in a few weeks, too.
You do. In the last game of the regular season on March 9th, I believe it is.
2 weeks.
I mean, like, as big as this game is, if you win it, then the next one gets even bigger. That's at East Carolina. And then if you win that one, the next one gets even bigger, and that's UAB. And then it ultimately culminates with FAU before the conference tournament. So I don't know. The way things went on Wednesday, winning by 24 points against a team that was, I think it still is, tied for second place in the league. Charlotte is tied currently with 4 or 5 games left with FAU for second place in the conference. So it didn't do much by itself in getting Memphis back into the conversation for an at-large bid, but I do think it raised some eyebrows and made people wonder, what if they do that to FAU? What if they do that to East Carolina? What if they do that to UAB?
Show me.
Could this sort of get interesting again? I mean, they moved up, I think, 7 or 8 spots in the net ranking based solely on that one win. And if they do that 4 more times, and maybe a 5th time in the conference tournament, I could see them sneaking into the 50s and possibly even the 40 in the net. So I don't know. It's just on its own, didn't do much. But if they do that again and again and again and again, then things could get really interesting again.
Sure. Last 2 quick things for you, Jason, before we let you go. We know Penny Hardaway switched up the starting lineup the last game, kind of went with more size, and kind of alluded that he was going to make changes. Javon Quinterly, David Jones, Nicholas Jourdain, Naquan Tomlin, and Malcolm Dandridge were the starting 5. We kind of know with Penny Hardaway, if things are going well, he's going to stick with those guys. If things are going bad, he's going to make changes. First question, do you think we see the same starting lineup against FAU, or do you think he'll switch it up? And then the second question, what do you expect? Do you think the Tigers can replicate what they did against Charlotte and come out with another win on Sunday?
So he said the reason why he went big is because Charlotte does not rebound the ball very well. And so he thought that would give them an advantage. More size, better rebounding, more opportunities to score. I don't think that it wouldn't surprise me, as you alluded, when something works, Penny's not going to fix it. So I could see him going with the same starting lineup, but at the same time, FAU is so athletic. They've got the one big guy, and maybe that's the route you go. You go super big when they have their really good 7'1" center, but then again, you're kind of rolling the dice because again, the FAU's got so many athletic guys who are so skilled along the perimeter that might be tough to do. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And as far as what's going to happen, I think they're going to win. I think Memphis is going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I cannot envision that at all. But I do believe that Memphis will win.
All right. Well, I hope you're right. There'll be a fun afternoon at FedEx Forum on Sunday. Well, Jason, it's going to be a fun one regardless. I know a busy one for you on Sunday. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll do it again next Friday.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great weekend.
Jason Munch from the Commercial Appeal. He joins us every single week, the Tiger basketball beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. And as always, presented by Jim's Place Grill in Carterville. Well, we need to get to a break. Before we do that, let me remind you we're out here at the Crazy Coop. We're here for another about 30 minutes or so till 6 o'clock, and they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary out here. We're at the one on Stage Road, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Make sure you get out here, not just today, but all weekend long. They're going to be celebrating with the Crazy Coop special. It includes 3 whole wings or a 6 party wings, fries, and a drink with any one of their 32 mouth-watering flavors for just $8.99. So get any flavor, just $8.99. A great deal, and that'll be going on all weekend long at the Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Family-owned and operated, the Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination. Well, let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
It's time to get thunderstruck during Gossett Mitsubishi's spring sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Ready to get 43 MPG Highway? Check out the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett, $18,610 or $249 a month. Need extra room? 7-passenger seating in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE, $33,605 or $399.99 a month. And Gossett Mitsubishi's got sophisticated styling and comfort in 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $31,200 or $449 a
a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RH005931 MSRP 19110, Outlander RZO 19512 MSRP 34605, Eclipse RZO 10625 MSRP 317, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We do have a couple of accidents that are getting some attention out here. Here's what we see. Heavy traffic on 240 East up by Poplar, making your way up to Walnut Grove. Don't forget tonight they're closing Germantown Parkway at Wolf River Boulevard. That's going to cause some confusion and some backups over there. Again, that's Germantown Parkway at Wolf River Boulevard will be closed tonight. Still running slow at 55 northbound here in the construction up by McLemore and South Parkway. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you for another 30 minutes, and we're out here at the Crazy Coop. They're celebrating their 1-year anniversary today throughout the week and all weekend long. 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. They've got the Crazy Coop special going on all weekend long. Includes 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink with any one of their 32 mouth-watering flavors for just $8.99. A heck of a deal. And joining us now from the Crazy Coop, Darius Buckner joins us now. Darius, first off, thanks so much for having us out here. I had to get out here early so I could get some wings before we came on.
He was starving. He'd already worked a full day.
Yes.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. They were unbelievable. I got the honey gold wings. They were delicious. But talk to us about this weekend. I mean, it's a great atmosphere out here. We got a DJ that's getting ready to start up. We've been out here. A lot of fun this weekend.
Oh, man, we got a ton of fun, man. You know, this is our 1-year anniversary, as you said. And so what we wanted to do was just tell the customers thank you. We wanted to tell them thank you because we would not be here without the customers, okay? And we are so grateful and thankful for them. And so we just want to give them a complimentary bar. We got some boneless wings because we have 32 flavors. And actually we have more. I just hadn't released those flavors right now, but I got some flavors.
All right.
Yeah, man, we got some heat here. That's why we called the Crazy Coop. We got 31 flavors, and we got some stuff that people look and say, whoa, I would never imagine putting that on some chicken, but it's amazing. That bacon bourbon cheeseburger we have, it's amazing. It's definitely, as my man said, it's underrated.
It really is, Darius.
You know, and I appreciate that. Seriously, though. Thank you.
Well, you're talking about catfish, too. I mean, y'all got it all. I need to try the catfish. I love catfish.
The catfish is amazing. You know, I have customers come and they said, well, listen, man, you're the godfather of catfish. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously? Like, okay, well, thank you, you know?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, though, I'm a big foodie, man. I have a huge passion for food. I have a huge passion for serving people. I love serving people.
You can tell it.
Yeah.
It shows.
Listen, it just fills me up to serve people. And so when I've served these people this good food, man, I love to see them smile and come in and enjoy this food. I love it.
Your staff, you can feel the pride, both locations that they've taken over this last year. The birthday cake, the cupcakes.
Oh yeah,
all the little kids are really enjoying the cupcakes.
Oh yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, they go. The parents probably gonna have a little problem when they get home.
It's a lot of sugar going down.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, but.
No, go ahead, Derek.
No, I just want to tell the people, just come out and celebrate with us. If you have not been to the Crazy Coop before, we're at 7199 Stage Road right here in Bartlett, Tennessee. If you hadn't been here, come here, check us out, because I do understand that sometimes people are stuck on certain flavors. And so we're just giving our customers opportunity, even if you aren't a customer of ours, you're going to be a customer once you get in this door. So you come in and you try some of these flavors. Again, we have 32 flavors. You can check the website out, crazycoopstage.com. Come in and celebrate with us. We thank God for this 1 year. We thank you all for this 1 year, and we're looking for many more years to come to continue to serve the community as well.
Has it been what you expected?
It has been, and my expectation is so huge.
We talked about more locations. You're at 2 places now, but slow and steady.
Yeah, we're going to do slow and steady because we're going to grow organically. Okay, and that's what we want to do. And so as people we get the message out, customers are going to be our first line of marketing, that. So we just want to make sure our customers know that they mean everything to us. And, if we mess up, if something goes wrong in the kitchen, nobody's perfect. We're going to get it right. We're going to make it right. And that's our motto, because we want to make sure people enjoy themselves, because we know this food brings people together. Family, friends, workers. Yeah, man. Yeah, people can hang out and laugh and have a good time.
Yeah.
I love the memories. You see the wall here.
Oh, beautiful. It's the best background we have on Zoom.
We wanted to pay homage to the city of Memphis. I'm born and raised here, man. So we got a lot of history here.
Tigers and Grizzlies got to get right, don't they?
Yeah, we're going to continue to support them.
That's right.
We're going to continue to support Penny and the team, and we wish them the best. I think they're playing tonight or
Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah, so the Grizzlies tonight. So
and we're getting ready. In fact, we're going to draw for and we're going to let you draw.
Good. Oh, you know what? We got some prizes as well. You guys came with some prizes. We got some prizes for customers also. So this is going to be fun.
Let's pick out for Grizzlies tickets.
Let's see. Let me shuffle around.
We'll do Grizzlies
this
first.
Right here. Let's see.
Here we go.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, let's go. Marcus Harris, I believe is that last name. So Marcus Harris.
Marcus Harris.
Oh, damn. Good hammer right here. Grizzlies tickets for Marcus.
For Tiger tickets, pair of.
We got 2 4-packs. So a lot of tickets coming. We've got William Williams, first winner.
Okay, Williams.
And Mitchell, we'll have to get a last name on that. I can't read that last name. But Mitchell, if you're here.
And then you won, Mitchell.
Wow,
there you go.
Yeah, you winner.
Mitchell said I won.
Winning. Absolutely, winner.
You won the Tigers ticket. Well, guess what?
Right.
You won today. Look, he said I never won that.
How about that?
Everybody says that.
Well, you're a winner today, sir.
That's right. How about that? The Tigers game.
Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
Look at you. Game of the year.
Yeah.
See?
That's right. FAU and Tigers.
Well, you in there. You got 2 tickets.
Yeah, you
Come on, man.
And we'll give away more during the break.
Good.
We appreciate you.
I do want to ask you, Darius, because you mentioned how much you love to serve people and all that. And I've seen, we've been out here, I think I got here about 1:45 or so. Right. I've been seeing you're hugging people, you're walking outside with people, you're welcoming people in. I mean, what is that like, that kind of family atmosphere that you're trying to build here?
That's it. And that's the culture that we want to create, because we're embracing it wherever we go, in whatever community we go, and we're going to embrace that community. I sponsor the Bartlett High School team. We do that, the Crazy Coop. That's a way of giving back, and they're going to honor the Crazy Coop tomorrow. They got a section called the Coop section in the school. That's amazing, right? And so we're supporting those guys as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to spread it out. I mean, as we grow, we're going to look to do more in the community. That's what it's all about, man. We got to get serious about this stuff. It's not just about making money. We got to do something with it.
We're going to spread the goodwill for you.
Come on, man.
Thank you for our relationship.
Thank you.
We do.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much.
I
appreciate you all, okay? Thank y'all.
Thank you. And I'm telling you, best wings I've had. I mean, those wings were unbelievable.
You can feel the hospitality.
Yeah. No, you can absolutely feel it. And I said, I mean,
thank you's a magical word.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen Darius out here hugging people. He's sitting down at tables with people. He's walking outside people to their cars, just chatting with them. Not just about, hey, thanks for buying my food.
It's fun giving away tickets.
Oh man, it's great. It's great. But
I wish we had 1,000.
Oh man, it was great. Well, that was a great reaction.
It was.
Certainly. So Tiger tickets, Grizzlies tickets. We're gonna be drawing more. He said he's got some stuff from the Crazy Coop that they're gonna be giving away. So we're gonna draw that during the break, and he'll get with those people about that. So I mean,
I'm ready
great
for that birthday cake
here
to get carved up.
Oh man, I'm ready. Well, you already got into one of those.
Only one
cupcakes.
cupcake.
I didn't get into any. I'm gonna have to get one for the road when we when we roll out. But no, I mean it's a really good atmosphere out here right now as they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and DJ's already getting it going, and he's going to be going all night. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
On Sunday, the Tigers win that one, then I really think you can start to build something.
Yeah.
East Carolina, all joking aside, will be tough next Wednesday night, but it's down to the next 40 minutes in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, we've been talking about that. You've got to win that next game. You've got to have that next game mentality.
All out.
And, you know, if you keep winning these games, if you stack wins and maybe, you know, do it convincingly, we know how much the net likes convincing wins. We know how much Kim Pom likes convincing wins. You've got to win those games. You're not going to be able to.
Jason was right. Just off that win against Charlotte, the improvement in the net. Now, it wasn't meteoric, but it was a nice move, and that's what Jason said.
Yeah.
You do that 2 or 3, 4 times, you get 20 spots. You get into the 60s before you go to Fort Worth, and then let it rip and see how it falls out.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to keep winning. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. And I think it's still going to be tough. I still think
if you don't win, the season's not over.
No, absolutely not. Because you have that opportunity to go down to Fort Worth and make the most of it and repeat. And so I think but you want to win these games. You want to try to put yourself in the best position possible. And the only way to do that is to continue winning games. Sunday's going to be a tough one. They're going to have to bring their A game, I think. But I think they can do it. I think this is a very talented team. We just have not seen them put their best effort out there.
I just didn't notice during the game last year in Columbus how testy it got, how chippy it got in the talking. But everybody now says it was.
Oh yeah,
it was over the top.
Yeah,
but FAU that got them rolling, and they forever will have gone to the Final Four in 2023 and almost inexplicably.
And I can only imagine that if there was talking going on last year in the NCAA tournament game, there will be some talking Sunday, and there will be some talking down in Boca.
I wish Tigers would save it for playing.
Yeah, no.
Show me, don't tell.
And I think they will, but I'm sure FAU, if they were talking that much last year, they're going to bring it, and we'll see how the Tigers respond to that.
Got to back it up.
Got to back it up, and certainly not going to be easy, but I do think this Tiger team is up for the challenge, and it's going to be a really fun Sunday, I think.
Right now, 2 bids from the AAC, right? You think?
I think if FAU wins the conference tournament, there's only 1 bid. I think if we get 2 bids, it's going to have to come from a conference champion not named FAU.
All right, let's say I don't think UAB can win it. I don't think Rice can win it. Let's say USF stumbles.
Okay.
And it's FAU and Memphis in the finals, and FAU wins. Who's the second bid?
I think it would be Memphis. As much as I like watching this USF team, the metrics don't really like them. They aren't the metric darling by any means.
We're going to count for the good in college basketball in November, December, and I think we should. Whether it's the opening night back on November 6th or 2 weeks ago, I think you count it all. November, December was pitiful for USF.
Yeah, but what they've done now in conference play is really impressive. And so, I do think that if they stumble early and the Tigers are there on the last day, I think, I think it would still be an uncomfortable Sunday afternoon on Selection Sunday for the Tigers, but I don't think that the conversation will be USF getting in. I think it will be Memphis.
And I promise, I'm not going to repeat it every day between now and Selection Sunday. And I don't know when I don't know if I heard it or if it was original me. 68 teams.
That's right. 68 teams have to get in, and so we'll see how this all folds out. But
we got to catch up with Mark Wise next week.
We
do. He wants another Dayton. Before we go to 96,
him talking about that last year.
He wants to go to 72 and have, say, a Dayton and Albuquerque. That's a great basketball game.
That would be a great spot.
Kind of a Dayton
That would be
twin,
a great spot. I think that would be a great spot. So, but for the Tigers, if they want to put themselves in that position, win on Sunday would certainly help. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. But we need to get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
It's leap year, so jump into big savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike. New 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. How about 7-passenger seating? Get 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease, and don't forget, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee. Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21,590. Sorrento PG 242710, MSRP 33010. Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Women here in Memphis are wearing bigger, better quality diamonds and some amazing designer rings thanks to the arrival of Genesis Diamonds. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis came on the scene here last year and shook up the jewelry world big time with rock-bottom prices on diamonds, a selection that's like 20 times ordinary stores, designer rings you can't find anywhere else, and guarantees and warranties that are the strongest in America. A relaxed, no-pressure, laid-back experience with no commission salespeople. Everybody here is loving what Genesis is doing. Whether you want a lab-grown diamond or a natural diamond, Genesis will easily beat anyone else's price. The owner is a former diamond wholesaler, and Genesis has cornered the market on the world's most acclaimed designer rings. They have all the top 10 designers in the bridal world, thousands of handcrafted rings made by the premier designers. For whatever special occasion you have coming up, don't go to the old-fashioned stores for the same old, same old. Discover the store that's raised the bar in quality, selection, and value. Prepare to be blown away. Genesis Diamonds on Poplar at Perkins Extended.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Our mission, to exceed your expectations, provide quality service with urgency, and be there for when you need us most. There is nothing more frustrating than a clogged drain, shower, kitchen, or toilet. They disrupt your life. But don't worry, Choate's is here to get those drains flowing again. With the latest tools, technology, and expert professionals, we're ready to tackle any clog, anytime. We also believe in the power of preventative maintenance, and now is the time to be proactive with Choate's $93 drain inspection. This special offer includes a camera inspection of your sewer with a full assessment of your drainage system. That's a $199 value now for only $93 this month. Give your family the peace of mind they deserve and prevent those unwanted clogs. Call us today at 347-8086 to schedule your $93 drain inspection. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
The President's Day sales event is on strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about 0% for 72 months on all 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns? Yeah, 0 for 72 on 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns. How about $8,000 off 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limiteds? We Gossett at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And how about your new 2023 Dodge Charger $27,990? There's no reason to shop anywhere else. Get to Gossett on the Pike today. New 2023 Charger $27,990, 2024 Grand Cherokee Limited, $8,000 off and 0 for 72 on all 2024 Bighorns. So drive past the rest and come to the best Gossett on the Pike, or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Charger PH 508-657, MSRP 35,930. Cherokee PC 662620, MSRP 55,760. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are
looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye. Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today is that the Tigers have an important one Sunday afternoon against FAU. We know about the past with what happened last year in the NCAA tournament. Now, Tigers get revenge. Now, it's not many players from that team last year that played, but we know Naquan Tomlin feels a certain way because of his exit in the Elite Eight. We know the coach, and that's the most important part. I think if anybody can fire this group up, it is Coach Hardaway, and I think he'll have them ready to go on Sunday.
And I know he knows this, but remember, you got to go down there and play too.
That's right. That's right.
Because not like the college football rivalries where it's just once.
That's right.
You see them again. It's why so much around the Duke, North Carolina game. We're going to do it again in 3 weeks.
That's right.
Might do it in a tournament. What I learned, college football has a lot of decisions still to make. The sport right now known for contracts well into the faraway years. You know, games booked 10 and 15 years before.
Yep.
You always can count on the Rose Bowl at 4 Central on New Year's Day, SEC in the Sugar Bowl. Not so much to count on that now.
No.
It feels like now college football is in a day-to-day, year-to-year planning stage.
Yeah, it really does, and a lot of decisions to be made in the next couple of years. What I could have done without, Mike McCarthy said earlier today that he will not be at the NFL Combine next week because he's still trying to get his coaching staff set, which, you know, I understand that's probably more important than going to the Combine, but I do want, you know, and this might be selfish of me to bring this up, but I want everybody for the Cowboys there to figure out who are we going to draft, and I do think that the head coach is an important piece when it comes to the draft process.
Conceptually, you're right. We know who does the draft.
Well, that's a good point. I forget what team I'm talking about, because when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, only one name.
Owner, general manager, media relations director, chief scout, draft analyst,
and then like 5
capologist,
and then the head coach.
That's it.
That's about right.
I could have done without. Boy, get 2029 here as fast as we can. Just look at the headlines around baseball. It's an absolute joke. The piñata, the laughing stock of the country. How's baseball gotten itself in this position? See-through pants, a headline today. I'm sure a man named Fred saved money on the uniforms.
Oh, I'm sure. I can almost guarantee that this was certainly a way to try to save some money. Where are you beaming this weekend?
Be me. I'm headed downtown to FedEx Forum for the Grizzlies game tonight, home game number 28. I'm 4-10 in person this year, 0-1 against the Clippers this year, and the 4 Hall of Famers. We'll see if they're on the court at the same time. Not often. Westbrook, Harden, George, and Kawhi. Kawhi, the only champion of that 4.
Yeah.
And we'll see if tonight, if they make an appearance, all 4 together. No injuries listed for the Clips.
Yeah, how about this? I'll give you 3 places I'm beaming for all 3 weekend days. Tonight, beam me to that Arkansas and Oregon State baseball game at Globe Life Park.
Home of the Rangers.
Battle of top 10 teams should be a heck of a game tonight. Tomorrow, beam me to that Kentucky-Alabama game. I'm really excited to see what happens in Lexington tomorrow. And then on Sunday, the big game here between Memphis and FAU.
That's a weekend. We got to get the beaming machine fired up. You mentioned that game at Rupp. That would be Nate Oates' biggest win at Alabama, wouldn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a massive win. And it would be one, you know, with that 3 straight losses at home for Cal, it would be one that certainly Kentucky wouldn't want.
And for the first time in his 1 year at Ole Miss, it's not must win, but it's really, really needed for Chris Beard to win at home tomorrow against South Carolina.
No, you're absolutely right.
What's a Friday night without Virginia Common playing?
Well, that's a really good
They don't play till
question.
Sunday.
No, you're right about that. Well, we had a lot of fun out here at the Crazy Coop. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.